CHM. Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Major oil companies.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
It's about possibly making the area just a little bit safer. I'm Chris Davis. It's a bill being introduced in the state assembly that might make it easier in some situations to burn brush and vegetation that can fuel a wildfire. State Assemblyman Stan Ellis is pushing for the bill, which he says is modeled on Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency declaration that is allowing some of the permitting process that you have to go through in the state to be able to burn brush and vegetation to be skipped in some circumstances. For now, that is only a bill and has not been passed. And apparently enough to make some people nervous was a plume of smoke that could be seen in the area west of Delano near Garcias Highway Thursday afternoon. It was unclear if that fire grew enough to become a threat. Back on November 22nd, 2008, someone came into the Arvin Police Department holding a woman who had been stabbed several times. She was bleeding and needed help and had to be taken to the hospital. But that woman survived. 18 years later, the man that police believe responsible for that attempted murder has been arrested. 44-year-old Victor Manuel Ochoa Orozco was arrested in Stanislaus County, say authorities. He has been extradited to Kern County to face the charges. Though police have been generous with the story about his arrest, they have not said what it was that led up to it almost 20 years later. Bakersfield is planning to do what some major cities across the U.S. have done, and that is get their own robotic police dog. They already have a name for the dog. Bakersfield Now reports the electronic pup will be called Spot. Spot will be programmed to detect fentanyl and other drugs. The department is also getting ready to add another actual canine at a cost of about $15,000. The cost for Spot will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $400,000. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest well, in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be streaming on YouTube. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Chris Burdick is producing this broadcast on the final day of July, and my final day before my week-long vacation. Be kind to my guest hosts. But in the meantime, as we go out, we got a busy show. We have a lot of guests today, so I don't have to do a lot of talking. That's right, I said it. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, it's Friday. Rick Bentley will join us. I do believe that visitor from the East is with him, Kernak the Magnificent. Paul Guerra, our good friend from Bakersfield Country Club, is here. The Harvick Foundation has a junior golf event going on next week up at Bakersfield Country Club. Paul will tell us all about that. And Jeff Salters has a grand opening as he expands Salty's Barbecue. We'll talk to Jeff. And I've got some miscellaneous news and notes we'll get to. You'll hear from the president on Iran, on the $1.87 billion fund, and on other issues as well. And the DA's office seems to be incredibly proud of itself that it prosecuted a human trafficker and that he'll be out this time next year. Wait till you get a load of this. We'll play this for you in just a second. It's Christine Antonios with the DA's office, who is so proud of their conviction of Kevin Mays former CSUB basketball player, former CSUB assistant coach that's now making national news. I saw it on ESPN this morning, where he was sentenced to 4 years, and which is, of course, just laughable in and of itself. But with time served, and get this, 300 days change of good behavior. Like, what does that mean? Like, you can get your sentence shortened in jail just because you don't act a fool? I don't understand rewarding these guys for acting right. What does that cut down on the fights and the gangbanging? No, not really, no. No, it really doesn't, in my opinion. Look at Sean Combs. He just got into a fight and got put in a solitary confinement, and his sentence is getting shortened. We'll get into that in just a second. And what else is going on? You see Paige Becker. Is that her name?
Yeah, Beckers.
Beckers? And Angel Reese.
Oh, the
Openly-
thing, yeah.
Openly gambling as they filmed themselves,
And they didn't even get punished for it.
and they're not going to?
No. He announced the other day they're not going to punish him for it.
It's out of control.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I mean, this is insane. Angel Reese and Paige Beckers, for those that don't know, are a pair of WNBA players. Butterpecan! Anyway, and they're videotaping themselves betting on a game. Was it the All-Star game they were betting on?
Yes, yeah. If the initial bet was whoever's team wins, the other one has to give them
400 bones. 400 bones. And Angel's sitting there waving the 4 bills right there, and there's no issue with this. Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle got suspended from baseball for a year because they were greeters at Caesar's Palace. That's a true story. Leo DeRocher got suspended from baseball because he was dating a woman who had left a Hollywood siren, as they used to say, who had just gotten divorced. It was in 1947. It was Jackie Robinson's first year. Leo DeRocher was supposed to manage that club the year that Jackie entered baseball, but he got suspended for a year because he was dating a Hollywood woman who had just got divorced from her husband. Times are odd. I told you, Mr. Burdick, that Tony Romo was through. Did I not?
You did. No, you did.
I mean, his job is. You don't mind if I interrupt, do you?
Oh, he's asking about stuff for next week when he's filling in for you. So.
Okay. Well, but we're kind of in the midst of.
I can still hear you. I got you.
Right now. But I'm talking to you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Do you agree with me that he's done though? Like done, like never coming back?
I still think there's a little bit of hope out there that he somehow holds on to some semblance of his job.
The problem is the test is coming out in dribbles. Have you seen the whole thing? Did you see the thing where he's doing stretches, getting ready for the test?
Yes, I've already seen it.
I mean,
like I said yesterday, every releasing piece of information is making this look worse. But
and did you hear the grandparent story?
yeah, that he was on the way to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
They're all dead.
Well, no, I think he meant Grandma and Grandpa in a sense as mom and dad. I don't think he's actually speaking of Grandma and Grandpa. Have you ever heard, because I've heard parents refer to their parents as Grandma and Grandpa after they have kids.
No, I've never heard that.
Never heard that before?
No. Me referring to my dad as a grandpa because he has a grandchild?
He has a grandchild, yeah. Again, some people do that. That's what I interpreted what he meant by going to Grandma and Grandpa.
I think he was looking for a little sympathy. I don't know. Just and the open container and I haven't been drinking.
I've heard it's multiple and they were shooters.
Oh, that was what was in his bag. They weren't open.
Bag. Oh,
yeah, they were in his bag.
That's so much better.
Yeah, exactly. But there was an open container in the car as well. He's through. They've already decided that. Don't tell me. J.J. Watts is going to be his replacement. He's going to team up with Jim Nantz and start the season. His only salvation is it's off season. And that perhaps, I don't even know if judicially they can sum this thing up by the end of September. I suppose they can. I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty open and shut. I mean, he doesn't even have to go to court if he doesn't want to.
You're right. You're right. His sentence will be interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, because I was reading up on how much you get penalized for an OWI and how much you have to pay. Here it's so much worse.
Yeah, it depends on the state. California, it's pretty damn serious. It's not serious enough. I think it should be mandatory jail time.
Over there, I saw the fines were anywhere between $150 to $300, and then there's a separate OWI fine as well. It's about $5. So at most, he's going to be paying maybe $800 for this. That's for first offenders.
Well, he might be paying $20.6 million.
Yeah.
Well,
72 technically, if you think about the entire contract.
Oh, that's true. That's what he's got left.
Well, 72 was the entire contract. I don't know.
How many years does he have left on it?
I don't know. I didn't know when he signed it.
I feel bad for the guy. I mean, in a way I don't, in a way I do. And there is going to be, and I got to kick myself, there was an SBI community session last night that I intended to attend. And there was drama going on right before the show at 1 o'clock. And I just completely forgot about it, where Lito Murillo was there with the SBI people, the company that they brought up from San Diego to deal with Child Protective Services. And it was a really bad turnout. It was just a handful of people. And I would have loved to have been there with my phone and got some audio from Lito Murillo. I apologize. I should have been there. I really should have. I've kind of been all over this story, and I should have been there to got some, because I don't think we're going to get him back on this show. Mr. Murillo is the head of DHS, who came on and told us that they were an A organization. And then shortly thereafter, after the Mata case became pretty common, they called this, what is it? Please stand by. Social, hang on, I got it somewhere. The Social Policy Institute of San Diego. And they basically said we're on par with state and national statistics, but the community voiced systematic failures and communication problems. And I mean, you're in charge of our safety of our children. And Genesis Mata was tortured and murdered. And at some point, Lito Murillo has to tell us how that happened. We know how it happened. She was tortured and punched in the stomach, allegedly, by her biological father. But how did it fall through the cracks? That's what I want to know. I don't want to hear about consulting. I don't want to hear about what they're telling us we should do in the future. I want to see, where did it go wrong? Because if you can't identify the problem, you can't fix it. So Lito Murillo owes this community a step-by-step. When the 20 calls came in from the school, from mandated reporters, from teachers who were saying Genesis Mata is coming to school, when she does, because she doesn't come often, but when she does, she comes bruised. What happened then, Lito? What did y'all do at that point? After the 18th call, after the 19th call, and after the 20th call, what did you do? Or more importantly, probably, what did you not do? Excuse my grammar, it's split an infinitive. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But there's no answer to this Mata thing. We just bring in a consultant, the supervisors cover up for these people, Lito keeps his job, and the Mata family has to have a ceremony tonight releasing balloons to show their love for their 8-year-old that they lost at the hands of DHS and Child Protective Services, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, Child Protective Services is almost equally responsible for that child's death, because they could and should have saved her. Let's go ahead and get started. We got a busy show on this Friday. 1 foot on the 405 and 1 foot, well, not really on the 405. I'm not on the 405 till Monday. Going to try to play a little golf this weekend. This ought to be interesting. I was out and about this morning at 9:30. Wasn't that bad.
It's like 103 right now.
And it's going to be warmer tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And even warmer Sunday.
Yep, that's why I'm staying in a pool.
But I'm off the course Sunday by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Now, tomorrow is going to be the test.
When do you leave for LA?
Monday.
Monday? Oh, yeah.
Monday, which is the hottest day of the whole damn deal.
Right.
think it's 87 in Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure.
Still gonna be hot for you though for being in LA.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Quick time out. We're just getting started on this Friday. Rick Bentley will join us in just a couple of minutes. Paul Guerra from Double Eagle Golf and Bakersfield Country Club joins us at 4. And Salty's Barbecue. They're got a grand opening coming up. Jeff Salter's going to tell you all about it. That's all coming up. I'd stick around if I you. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll find out all the biggest news happening on planet Earth with the hot list. We got America's Job Center on Kern. We got state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
If you're a local businessman and you take your IT seriously, there are two things that you absolutely need to do. One, you need to listen to the Ralph Bailey Show on Wednesdays at 3:30 when Jennifer and Ryan Van Alstyne, owner-operators of Adaptive Networks, come in, basically talking to business folks on what you should be looking for, what should be alarm bells when people are coming back and fixing the same thing over and over again. And the next thing you need to do is pick up the phone and call the Van Alstynes at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638. 241-0638. As I have talked about so often, we have teamed up for almost a year with American General Media and Adaptive Networks because as a radio station, we absolutely depend on our IT. So we had to go to a team that was reliable, competent, and has the best customer service in Kern County. If you're a serious business person, call the folks at Adaptive Networks at 241-0638 or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
I'm here with Dr. Tarkesh from Affordable Dentures and Implants. Doc, do people often think dental implants are a one-size-fits-all solution? Can you explain what dental implants are and how they benefit patients?
Yes. Dental implants are a permanent solution for missing teeth. They act like natural tooth roots and support crown, bridges, or dentures. Unlike traditional dentures, implants provide a secure fit, look natural, and allow patients to eat, speak, and smile confidently without worrying about slippage.
Well, many people are concerned about the pain involved with dental procedures.
Some people have a more complex situation or have what we call dental phobia. If so, we offer IV sedation that allows patients to relax completely during their dental procedure, making it a stress-free experience.
Get the smile you've always wanted without anxiety at Affordable Dentures and Implants. Dr. Nozar Tarkesh, who specializes in implants with IV sedation. Visit them online at affordabledentures.com. Affordable Dentures and Implants. That's what we do.
Go ahead and smile.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
842-537-6842-KER. I don't have a lot of time before we get to the bottom of the hour. I just want to sum up. The president went to Camp David and had a cabinet meeting, which is, I wish I could do like a compilation when they go around the room. It's just so funny. They were talking about how he's the most powerful president and history. He just might be in some respects. How he's been able to change people, how he changed Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy once called for the 25th Amendment and then made up with them and, came right back to the fold. And it's just changed the Republican Party. It's changed how people look at things, and they don't dare go against this guy because they know he'll primary you. And when they do these cabinet meetings, they go around, and at some point, each one of them says, "Thanks to your leadership, Mr. President, we couldn't have done anything." Brooke Rollins, Secretary of Agriculture. "Well, the carrots are growing thanks to your leadership, Mr. President. It's just incredible. They're just growing like rabbits. It's just incredible." And so he did deal with a couple of important issues. However, he's singing the same old song. They're spoiling for a deal, blah, blah, blah. And if they don't, we'll keep hitting them. And here is the President of the United States who, for the first time, gave us kind of a glimmer, I suppose, of what victory looks like.
If I didn't stop the JCPOA, the Obama deal, if I didn't terminate that, they would have had a nuclear weapon. I believe Israel would no longer be with us, and big parts of the Middle East, and perhaps other countries in different continents, frankly, because these people are crazy. So they cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't.
Mr. President, expect over the next 4 weeks.
Well, we'll be hitting them very hard. And at some point they're going to say, we just can't take it anymore.
That's the strategy. Did you hear that at the end? First, he's claiming that had he not killed the JCPOA, the Obama deal, Israel would be a cloud of dust. You see, I mean, how can I not every day say, just play it straight? I mean, do you guys really believe that? That Donald Trump saved us from nuclear threats on Israel? I mean, I guess, okay, maybe you do. And that we're going to bomb them until they can't take it anymore. That's the closest thing to a plan that I've heard. That's what he said at the end, if you didn't hear carefully. We're going to bomb them until they, quote, can't take it anymore. So there's this idea that, again, from the air, we're going to get the IRGC, people that killed their own people, to somehow wave the white flag. We couldn't do it in Vietnam. The Nazis couldn't do it to the British during World War II. But somehow we're going to break trend in military history and bring a country to its knees from 35,000 feet. I don't mean to be negative. I'm just presenting the facts. And if that's not the plan, then as I have predicted, the next phase has to be boots on the ground. The president also talked about the $1.87 billion slush fund, or whatever you want to reference it as, for the January 6th rioters. This, along with the sweetheart IRS deal that he cooked up, where he basically sued himself and has basically staved off any type of audit or examination of his IRS. There are 3 senators, and just surprisingly, they happen to be guys that he cut off from the Republican Party: Bill Cassidy, John Cornyn, and Tom Tillis in North Carolina. And by the way, I have predicted those are 3 states we're going to lose. Let's be on the record on my prediction. James Tellerico is going to win a Senate seat in Texas for the first time in the Democratic Party since the 1990s. Since the 1990s. Roy Cooper will be the next senator out of the great state of North Carolina, and Sherrod Brown is going to be the Democrat coming out of Ohio. He's pissed these guys off, and now they're using Todd Blanche as their kind of piece of leverage, which is stupid because he's the deputy AG. So if he stays deputy AG with no attorney general, he, in essence, is the attorney general, with or without confirmation. So it's really a stupid piece of leverage for Cassidy, Cornyn, and Tillis. Trump, you think Trump's going to give up that IRS deal just so he can officially make his lawyer, and I guess the government's lawyer on the side, so to speak? Here he is on the $1.87 billion fund.
There's never been a group of people, most likely, I mean, I can think of a couple that were treated pretty badly, groups, but there's essentially never been a group of people treated so badly as these people. And this fund was not for me. This fund was for those people that have been weaponized, that have been abused. Now, I was abused. They attacked my house, Mar-a-Lago, where I live. And I was, big damages should have been given to me. I don't want anything. I'm not talking about myself. I think that there's a group of people in this country, history will show, that were treated like nobody else has ever been treated. So badly, so horribly. Their families have been ruined. Many, many suicides. They've committed suicide. People that were very successful that wanted to go to a rally or an event and ended up spending the rest of their lives in horror.
And finally, I don't know if you heard about this, but there is a cybersecurity leak problem that is arising dealing with our water. And the intelligence community is claiming that it's coming from Iran. We just talked about this with the Van Alstynes on Wednesday. If you're a business owner, you need to call them and just at least talk to Ryan and Jennifer. It's 661-241-0638. This is serious. And now they've got a cybersecurity breach or problem or issue up there in Minnesota. I'm not a fan of Waltz. I'm not a fan of what's going on in Minnesota, but the president doesn't believe his own intelligence community.
You know what's behind it? Because they're grossly incompetent. I think the government did that. I don't think there was an Iranian cyber attack. I think that Minnesota ought to get its act together.
That was right at the end of the news conference, so the audio was horrible. What he said is he believes that Minnesota is at fault, that it's not the Iranians, like the intelligence community is telling him. It's not them, it's Minnesota, it's Tim Walz. I'm going on vacation, so I have no comment, no editorial comment. I'm just telling you what he said. That's what he said. That foot's on the 405, and this one's in the studio. So I have no comment. But I can tell you this. We're going to take a short break, and Rick Bentley will join us with the man from the East. I'd stick around if I you.
Keith Peters in Washington. The Justice Department has moved to dismiss a criminal case charging a former Olympian with deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Government lawyers said in a 20-page court filing Friday evening that information provided since the indictment of David Hearn shows that the damage was the result of a flawed installation by the contractor, as well as the rush to complete the project prior to events associated with the America 250 celebration. The Marine Corps says the pilot of an F-35B stealth fighter is expected to live after ejecting from the jet before it crashed in California. The jet went down Friday in a field near the Miramar Air Station in San Diego. An update from the Marines says he was taken to a local medical facility in stable condition. More details at srnnews.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. There's a possibility that after this year's legislative session that some of the permitting required to burn vegetation and dry debris that can help cause wildfires may be able to be skipped. One state assemblyman says that bill is based on Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency declaration, which in emergencies only right now allows some of that environmental permitting process to be skipped. It all started with a man going too fast, according to Kern County deputies. And that was Wednesday night about 11 on Niles Street, and that's where they started chasing 20-year-old Andres Montoya. He was going too fast and driving so recklessly that they say they had to cut the chase off, but he ended up crashing in a parking lot and was caught. Deputies say a 17-year-old girl who was in his car had serious injuries. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Central Valley, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Did you know termites can silently feast on your home for 3 to 4 years before you see any damage? They can literally eat a bedroom wall in less than 2 years, causing major structural damage to your biggest investment. Don't wait for the evidence to appear. Ryan's Termite is running an early bird special. If you know or even suspect that you have termites, get on Ryan's schedule now for an additional 10% off our already lowest price. All work is guaranteed. There's no money down and no contracts. Plus, in most cases, you won't even have to move or tent your house. Protect your home and save. Call Ryan's today. That's Ryan'sTermiteControl.com.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Federal appeals court ruled the New Jersey's assault weapon law barring possession of a semi-automatic rifle is unconstitutional. The first time a federal appeals court has ruled that a state's assault weapons ban violated the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment, so this could be a huge one for here in California. Things could be changing for us gun owners.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Where Mr. Rick Bentley, KGTN Entertainment Reporter, joins me live in studio. How are you, sir?
I am great. Thanks for asking.
And you'll be back here next Friday hosting 1 week from today.
I will do my best that I can to fill in for you. I know it's a pale imitation, but I will do.
Well, thank you, sir. What is on the docket today?
2 things. We'll talk about Spider-Man.
Did you hear my Odyssey story?
I did not.
You don't know my Odyssey story?
I don't know your Odyssey story.
Oh, it was Sunday. You're right. He hasn't heard the Odyssey story.
No, yeah, this happened afterwards.
I got sent to the wrong theater, and I walked in. I thought I was 5 to 8 minutes late, and I walked in, and they're in the horse. It's the Battle of Troy.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking, and as soon as I sat down, the guy 2 seats next to me looked at me like,
showing up now?
What are you doing here? And so I'm like, well, it's a Christopher Nolan picture and it's an epic. Maybe he demanded that it starts at 5:15 because I've never been 8 minutes late and there still aren't previews running.
Previews, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw.
So why? I told the audience I'm just dense because why I couldn't figure out there's no way we're 8 minutes in and they're already battling Troy.
Yeah.
But so I missed the whole hour of the damn film. So I went back out front after because the movie ended at 7:15 and I walked in at 5:15 and I was like, so then I went to the front. The girl looked at my ticket and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You got sent to the wrong deal. You went to the wrong theater." And so the nice little black woman gave me back my ticket. So I've got to go see it again.
So you didn't just go back in and see the first hour?
I could have done that because there was one starting at 7. Not the one in my theater, but there was another one starting in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was 7:15, and I don't know. I just figured I'd just go see it all again.
Well, that being said, how much did you enjoy the 2/3 you saw?
I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed the acting. I have a problem with Matt Damon's physique.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like in Moses, Charlton Heston was this imposing figure. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just, as a leader, I don't see a little 5'9" guy. That's the only problem I had. But he's a brilliant actor. I love him.
Yeah. No.
I mean, my favorite Matt Damon movie is We Bought a Zoo. I think he's brilliant in that with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
But I had a problem with that. But other than that, no, I loved it. I loved it. And the climax scene where he's, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but when he starts to come back, and he takes on the suitors.
He basically
that's a great scene.
He John Wicks them.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like that. I like that you didn't see the first third and you still like the movie, which says a lot about. And this is the thing I've said about the movie is people said, well, it's almost 3 hours, blah blah blah. There aren't moments you can cut from that.
No, I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. I was like, because I was like, good, I got another hour. And you could tell, because like right around 7, about 15 minutes before it ends, you start to realize.
Oh, this is getting wrapped up.
Yeah,
soon.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's when it dawned on me. I didn't see the whole damn film.
Well, I'm glad you saw at least part of it. And I'm glad you appreciated it
Yeah.
because I still think it's the best film I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the odds-on favorite to win Best Picture.
What about Matt?
Oh, well, as I say, I don't want to give him the 100%. I feel like he's one of the lead.
He'll definitely get nominated. I don't
Oh,
think,
yeah.
I don't think he wins though.
I think it's going to come down to between him and Ryan Gosling for Hail Mary.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's so because that's almost a one-man show. Hail Mary is
Yeah.
so much is put on him. I really feel like those two are going to battle it out right now. But again, I haven't seen every film this year.
You know who I think is the shoe-in of the entire cast is
John Leguizamo.
no. Although, yeah, he was brilliant.
I
And
thought
you're
he-
right.
I thought he was incredible.
I had to look twice. I don't think his role is big enough, but yeah. But
Look, they've had people win Best Supporting Actor with 8 minutes on screen, so he's got enough.
Which is about what he's got.
Well,
don't you
yeah,
think?
but
about 10 minutes.
As long as those 8 or 10 minutes are memorable,
And they were.
and they were.
They were. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. But I thought Anne Hathaway. I think Anne Hathaway's going to win going away.
You know, everybody I talk to, she's either a shoe-in or, oh God, she was the worst part of this movie.
Really?
Yeah, and I find that hard to believe because I thought she was great.
Yeah.
I thought, it's not the overzealous big role.
Mhm.
There's not. She's basically weaving.
Yeah.
But I thought the emotions that she played
Exactly.
and the thing I liked the most about it was she and Matt don't have a lot of scenes together.
No.
But when they do, I felt like they were a couple.
Mhm.
I felt the chemistry between them.
I agree.
And I think it says a lot about her.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Still getting arguments about the casting.
I'm so tired of that.
Even our own Howard Marcus, he does not think Lupita is attractive.
Well,
I'm like, I don't know who you're looking at.
I know.
Maybe you got it mixed up with Whoopi Goldberg or something. I don't know, but
Well,
Google the movie.
all I can tell you is I have stood closer than we are to her doing an interview,
yeah,
and it's one of those breathtaking moments. You're
Yeah.
around, she is that stunning to me,
I agree.
and so I don't think film does her justice.
Yeah.
and as good as she looks on film, I'm just saying that is a stunning woman,
Yeah,
and I will argue that one to my dying breath.
yeah. And there's still people complaining and still people saying that they hated it. It's just, I mean, I don't know how, I didn't even see the whole damn thing. And I don't know how you could walk out of that film and say you hated it. I can see if you didn't get it, you didn't understand it, you couldn't follow it, you didn't read it as a
Right.
child. I get that, but to say you hated it,
Yeah.
that's just
yeah.
that's looking for likes and clicks and stuff.
Yeah. I can see you saying, I got tired of it, I got bored, it's too long for me, but that
Yeah.
it's classic literature, what do I care? But to hate it,
Yeah.
what can you hate about it?
Yeah, that's the
Unless you're manufacturing hate. And that's what we're
That's what I'm saying.
These casting complaints are manufacturing hate.
I agree 100%. I absolutely agree with you. You saw Spider-Man
Saw Spider-Man?
because they are everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I have now absolutely I can't get enough of Zendaya, which
Yeah.
is so weird. And I know I mention this every time I talk about her, but I watched Euphoria for the whole season. I can't wait I've seen clips of the first 2. I cannot wait till they binge that thing and I can see the first 2 seasons
Yeah.
when they were all young and everything. And these characters were so incredibly different.
Yeah.
But I'm just so used to her in Euphoria. And now every single time I see her, she looks better and better.
Yeah. Again,
she's just stunning.
Yeah, she is. And carries herself with such dignity
That's
and
what it
loyalty
is. And you know what? I don't mean to be inappropriate, ladies. You can get mad at me if you want about this. I like that she doesn't mind that she has small breasts. I like that she didn't go out and go get Fs, like a lot of actresses do. This is me, like me or not.
Well, again, that's like saying, do we need to put a new frame on the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
The Mona Lisa, come on. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. She's a gorgeous
yeah,
girl.
why mess with near perfection?
Can they make it? Because I'm starting to dig him too now.
Yeah.
Because he's a stick, apparently. He is a really good golfer.
Oh,
And I now I've got a whole new love for him too.
boy, I tell you, you've got your new power couple, don't you?
I know.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. If they're not pumping up Odyssey, they're pumping up Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that is odd that they had these
Back
two
to back.
massive pictures.
Mhm.
Both are probably destined to make $1 billion
Yeah,
internationally.
you think?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, we've got the Odyssey right now is at 700 million.
So that's a
Okay.
shoe-in. Yeah.
And I just heard that in the 70 millimeter versions of it that are only playing in 21 theaters and everything
Mhm.
in LA, they've extended the run to at least through September.
Wow.
So it's got every chance in the world to make that. And we have to keep in mind every time you go to an IMAX theater, you're paying almost double what you would pay at a regular theater.
Yeah.
So it's going to go over $1 million.
Yeah. It wasn't
$1 billion.
standing room only, but it was crowded. Sunday at 5:15.
Yeah, see,
or
yeah.
I guess 4:15.
Yeah, and I will say this again about Spider-Man. I went yesterday at 2:00.
Yeah.
And got one of the last tickets at the theater to
Really?
see it. Yeah. So I really feel like it's going to have a massive opening weekend.
Okay. And
I'm not a big. It didn't hit me the way the Odyssey did or anything, but they're apples and oranges.
sure.
The problem I had with it, similar problems I had with Supergirl. When we talked about Supergirl, I always said there was no story. Crypto got poisoned. We got to get an antidote. He's saved. We're done. The problem I have, and it's going to be very difficult to talk about this because I don't want to give away spoilers. I'm not one of the guys that do that. But I feel like the Spider-Man Brand New Day does not have a distinct villain. Is the villain bad? Is the villain good? I'm more of a purist. Like I want him to go up against Doc Ock, or I want him to go up against the Scorpion.
Right.
I like that sort of thing.
Mhm,
So
me
when you
too.
have your protagonist in this that we don't quite know and has, I thought that weakened it. I just felt like that, and I felt like it's you talk about the Odyssey not feeling long and everything. Spider-Man is 2 hours and 27 minutes. It's 27 minutes shorter than the Odyssey, but it feels twice as long.
Really?
There are plenty of places that could have been cut. I don't feel like there's a good action movie tempo to it. I thought the best characters in it were supporting players. Florence Pugh plays Black Widow. She steals the movie.
Really?
She is so funny, so sarcastic. So I want a whole movie of her. I love her. And then you've got John Bernthal who does The Punisher.
Right.
He is so good because he's that killer. That's what he's wired for. And I love the fact that he replaces those who've kept up with Spider-Man know that Spider-Man and Tony Stark became friends. And then when Iron Man died, I'm losing my voice. When Iron Man dies, I think the Punisher sort of stepped in to become the new mentor to Spider-Man. So I like that relationship. So I thought supporting players were stronger. It's one of those movies where we're dealing with telepaths, and in that case, when there's conversations, one line of dialogue could actually end the movie. Why are you doing evil? Well, I'm doing this because. And you go, oh, okay.
Right.
And then also it has a secret scene at the end, which and it is a notoriously bad secret scene. It's not worth 10 minutes at the credits for something we already knew.
Yeah. Okay.
There were two other secret scenes they could have done, which have been much better. But that being said, I'm going to give it a C+. It's worth seeing if you're a fan. I felt like because we had a situation where the world was told who Peter Parker and Spider-Man were, and that got erased so we could start brand new, they had a better chance of starting fresh, and I don't think they took the opportunities that they should have.
Yeah. Peter Parker and MJ Zendaya are boyfriend, girlfriend? Not really?
Well, here's the problem. Again, I tried to explain it before.
Well, before you explain that, let's go back. Walk me through the chronology of this thing. So they've played these roles before.
Right.
But they're acting as if this whole thing is starting up again.
Okay, I'll do this very quickly.
Okay.
The very last film, it was revealed to the world that Spider-Man was Peter Parker.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that was it for him, So he went to Doctor Strange, okay, who's the master magician, and he put a spell on the world to forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. So the world
Put a
forgot.
spell on the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, but in doing that, everybody had to forget who Peter Parker was, which meant MJ didn't know who he was. So when they meet again, he's just this kid.
Peter Parker.
Yeah. And so you ask, in his mind, he still remembers all this. He remembers. Because this takes place 4 years after that wipeout and return and all sort of thing. He has pined for her for 4 years, but she has no memory of him.
How many had they done together of the Spider-Man movies?
I think it's third or fourth. I think it's maybe the fourth one.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Because, like I said, I'm sorry. The only one I've seen was the very first with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Which I liked.
Yeah.
I don't know why I stopped watching, because didn't he do another one?
Yeah.
And then there was another character. There was another guy. That's what they lost me when they started intertwining.
Yeah.
Who was going to play the guy?
Yeah.
Kind of lost me there.
Yeah, and that's that it is weird when you try to make him young and you got to keep him young, and I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's confusing, but that's the nature of that franchise. They had multiple to play it. So anyway, the relationship. That's to me another thing that's wrong with this movie is that I love the romance that they had, and that sort of added to the danger of him being Spider-Man. He could die, or and so if she doesn't remember him and doesn't love him, now we get clues at the end of the movie, that maybe she's beginning to remember him a little bit, but through the movie she doesn't know who he is.
But overall, C+, worth seeing, but
It's
don't
worth
get too
seeing.
don't get worked
Right.
up about
I
it.
would say it's worth seeing just for Black Widow and Punisher. Those
Okay.
two are great in this movie.
All right. I'll leave you with this. Are you intrigued as I am that the Thomas Crown Affair, a movie that started with Steve McQueen,
Right.
then was passed on to Pierce Brosnan,
Right.
that is now being handed over to Michael B. Jordan? I am, because I love the first two. I just saw McQueen's about a month ago on Turner Classic Movies,
Yeah,
which
those-
is better than Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, yeah.
By
Yeah.
far. He and Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
There's no question.
No question.
No argument here.
But Michael B.
I just saw the trailer for that yesterday,
And what'd you
and
think?
I thought, yeah,
seems interesting.
Yeah, I love it. I love when great actors take on great roles.
I do too.
I do not care about the other.
Yeah, and they'll bring that up.
Everybody's going to talk about that.
Could this be a catapult to James B?
Could be.
007?
Yeah, I'm still holding out for Idris Elba.
Yeah, he's starting to get a little old.
Yeah, so Sean Connery was what, 108 when he played
Yes,
him?
he
So
was.
come on, it's
When he came running back for Never Say
Never-
Die or whatever.
yeah,
Never Say, yeah.
yeah.
And I wouldn't pay to see that too.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, your day was done.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
There's no more running around without your shirt on.
Yeah.
Well, break the leg next Friday, sir. Thank you so much
I'll
for
do
filling
my-
in. I really appreciate
Do my
it.
best not to break the show.
That's all you got to do.
Okay.
Rick Bentley, everybody. Quick timeout. We'll check the board. Coming up at the top of the hour, the Kevin Harvick Foundation has a golf clinic going on as part of Bakersfield Country Club. Paul Guerra will join us from Double Eagle Golf, and he's one of the board members of Bakersfield Country Club. And he's a young man I've known since he was 15 years old. We'll talk with him at the top of the hour. And one of our favorite people, Jeff Salters from Salty's Barbecue, joins us at 4:30. I would stick around if I you. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll find out all the biggest news happening on planet Earth with the hot list. We got America's Job Center on Current. We got state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. It's probably time to go on that summer trip, and what better way to travel than in a brand new Subaru? Now, if you want something sporty yet comfortable, then the choice is clear, an Outback. Plenty of room for the entire family, plus Outback gets 32 miles per gallon on the highway. And now, through July 31st, lease a 2026 Outback Premium CVT for $229 a month for 36 months and $5,017 due at signing. Every Subaru comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Offer ends July 31st. So stop by, see my good friends Damon Colos and Osan Levy, and test drive a brand new Outback. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersville Auto Mall.
$229 per month plus tax for 36 months. Total of lease payments, $8,869. $5,017 total due at lease signing. Includes first month payment, excludes tax, title, license, and $85 document fee. Total lease cost $13,886, excluding tax and license. TSRP $37,287. No security deposit. Lease based on 7,500 miles per year, 15 cents per mile over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance on approved credit. Expires July 31st, 2026. Excludes optional equipment and dealer installed accessories. VIN number TY514370.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take. And when I left the Evan-On, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan. Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Where's Bentley, everybody? 842-5376, 842-KERN. Paul Garrett's going to join us in just a couple of minutes. And then we get to talk to Salty, who's also involved with Portrait of a Warrior, and he's back active with Honor Flight. By the way, they are looking for veterans for the next flight. So if you know a veteran, get in touch with Honor Flight, and we'll talk a little bit about that with Jeff Salters as well. In the meantime, what do you got on the board?
Let's see. After people have kids, when they're referring to their parents in front of their children, they refer to them as grandma and grandpa, nana and papa, whatever, because that's what the kids call them. So it makes sense, less confusing for the kids to call them grandma and grandpa in front of them.
Yeah, but he was in front of a police officer. And she asked him, where are you going? And he said, grandma and grandpa's. You all really don't think that was a contrived answer to get a little whatever, sympathy, empathy? Grandma and grandpa's? I don't know. None of his grandparents are alive is the issue. And so who do you think he was referring to?
His parents.
His parents?
His parents, yes.
His parents.
Who would be grandma and grandpa to his kids.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first initial thought was, I've heard people refer to mom and dad as grandma and grandpa after they have kids. But again, it's a long shot.
I just think a grown-ass man would have said, my parents' home. I live in Dallas. My parents live here. I'm going to see my parents. But I think if you say grandma and grandpa, I think it's a little more empathetic, particularly when all four of your grandparents are dead. And the fact of the matter is he lied about drinking and he had shots. It's just a bad look. I tried to explain this yesterday, and somebody told me, one of the texters texted in and said, it's not illegal to lie, Ralph. What? This is a major national corporation. Corporate corporation. And it's not, you know, the theme of this show, it's never the error that you make. If he had just handled it like a man and said, have you been drinking today, Mr. Romo? Yeah, I had a couple drinks at the clubhouse, but I don't think I'm impaired. And had he blown, he refused to blow, which is something that corporate certainly is not going to be very happy with. And he lied to the cop. And he had bottles of shooters in his bag. He had open container. I mean, and wait, if you have not seen the entire OWI exam, he starts stretching. Dude, we're not asking you to jog. We're asking you to walk a line. And he's literally, if you haven't seen it, he's literally doing this. He's doing stretches in the police stations. I'm just getting ready to walk a line. You know, I'm a former professional athlete, but I got to warm up to walk a straight line. So he just handled it like a child, basically. He handled it like the way a teenager would. Have you been drinking? What? Me? Drinking? That odor that's coming out of my pie hole is from last night. I stayed up late. He just handled it like a child. And corporate doesn't like that. Be a man. Yes, I've been drinking, but I don't think I'm impaired. Can I take the test? You want me to blow? Yes, I'll blow. In other words, I don't know. It's this thing that my father taught me when I was in 7th grade. Cooperate with law enforcement. It's that simple. If you're going to work for a corporation like CBS and you get involved with law enforcement, you are mandated to, I don't know, cooperate with the cops. Don't lie to them. Call me crazy. One more. Let's get to the top of the hour.
Genesis Mata's family could have and should have looked out for her. To me, this is a failure of the family first and then the county, and now a lawsuit is being filed on the behalf of her siblings. Give me a break.
Who said, is that you saying give me a break, or is that them saying give me a break?
The text messenger said that.
So you're telling me that if you have a child and he grows up and has a baby and he kills that baby, that you're somehow responsible as the grandparent? The aunts and the uncles were responsible? What if Ray Mata said, yeah, this is my child, mind your own business. I'll take care of this child any way I please. You think that a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle can come in and just take the child from the biological father? That's why we have Child Protective Services. Give me a break. And when a school says your daughter is coming home with bruises, they have a responsibility to separate that child from Ray Mata.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Peters in Washington. At his Friday cabinet meeting at Camp David, President Trump discussed the Iran war and the massive cyber attack in Minnesota.
At his cabinet meeting at Camp David, after previously insisting Iran has been completely defeated militarily, the president acknowledged he expects military action will continue for some time. The president says negotiations with Iran have been frustrating.
And then they'll go out and I'll say they discussed nuclear. And they'll go out and they'll say, we never discussed nuclear. And I say, why do they say that? All they do is make me angry.
But President Trump was also asked about cyber attacks on Minnesota water systems and possible links to Iranian hackers.
You know who's behind it? Minnesota.
State officials in Minnesota have not identified who was behind the cyber attacks. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Firefighters battled the last hot spots of a monster wildfire in France's southwest.
Firefighters in southwestern France were working to control the last hotspots of a massive wildfire on Friday. The blaze has burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. That's about 162 square miles, and it initially forced 224,000 people to flee their homes. A huge wildfire, which burnt pine forest and touristic resort areas in Bordeaux's Gironde region on the Atlantic coast, hasn't spread for several days. Government officials said lower temperatures and higher humidity overnight were helping ease pressures on beleaguered fire squads. I'm Karen Shamas.
The pilot of an F-35B stealth fighter is expected to live after ejecting from the jet before it crashed in California. The jet went down Friday in a field near the Miramar Air Base in San Diego. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 276 points. This is townhall.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money.
Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-2906. 800-505-2906. 800-505-2906.
Some new rules for Mexican train crews operating inside.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
It's about possibly making the area just a little bit safer. I'm Chris Davis. It's a bill being introduced in the state assembly that might make it easier in some situations to burn brush and vegetation that can fuel a wildfire. State Assemblyman Stan Ellis is pushing for the bill, which he says is modeled on Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency declaration that is allowing some of the permitting process that you have to go through in the state to be able to burn brush and vegetation to be skipped in some circumstances. For now, that is only a bill and has not been passed. And apparently enough to make some people nervous was a plume of smoke that could be seen in the area west of Delano near Garcias Highway Thursday afternoon. It was unclear if that fire grew enough to become a threat. Back on November 22nd, 2008, someone came into the Arvin Police Department holding a woman who had been stabbed several times. She was bleeding and needed help and had to be taken to the hospital. But that woman survived. 18 years later, the man that police believe responsible for that attempted murder has been arrested. 44-year-old Victor Manuel Ochoa Orozco was arrested in Stanislaus County, say authorities. He has been extradited to Kern County to face the charges. Though police have been generous with the story about his arrest, they have not said what it was that led up to it almost 20 years later. Bakersfield is planning to do what some major cities across the U.S. have done, and that is get their own robotic police dog. They already have a name for the dog. Bakersfield now reports the electronic pup will be called Spot. Spot will be programmed to detect fentanyl and other drugs. The department is also getting ready to add another actual canine at a cost of about $15,000. The cost for Spot will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $400,000. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm gonna make them an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday, final day of July. So we head into a big birthday month. Our next guest has a birthday. Deborah Leary has a birthday coming up. Cassie Biddle has a birthday coming up. Tom Brady, Martin Sheen, my mother. Leos are the finest astrological people there are. Just saying. Natural leaders, very affable, lovable people. Just saying. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Jeff Salters from Salty's Barbecue is going to join us. He's got a brand new grand opening he's going to tell you all about. We'll get into the SBI community service meeting involving Child Protective Services, and you will hear from the prosecutor in the Kevin Mays case and from David Torres, courtesy KGET. David Torres was the attorney that represented Kevin Mays, the CSUB player and later coach who turned out to be a pimp, a human trafficker, who's into kiddie porn had weapons and methamphetamine. He got sentenced 4 years. He'll be out by next summer. Not making that up. Human trafficker. He put a girl in slavery and had her do sex for him. He's caught with all kind of kiddie porn and weapons and drugs, and he's going to do less than a year. Our district attorney, Monty Hall, let's make a deal. Just, you can kill somebody. The guy on weed, T-boned a 64-year-old woman. It's going to do a couple of years. Monty Hall is running our district attorney's office down on Truxton. In the meantime, on a much, much brighter note, Kevin Harvick is coming to town. His foundation has set up a golf tournament that is part of the AJB, let me get this right, AJGA, the American Junior Golf Association. It runs from Monday and throughout the rest of the week. And BCC board member and Double Eagle Golf executive Paul Guerra joins us to tell us all about it. What's going on, Paulie?
How are you, buddy?
I'm
Happy
good.
early birthday to you.
Thank you, sir. And a happy early birthday to you as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Doing anything fun for your birthday?
Just going to work. That's pretty much a normal day for me.
I hear you. Tell us about the foundation and how Kevin Harvick got involved in golf.
I think they came to him. His foundation was looking for something to, get involved with that was good for the community and could reach a broader spectrum of people. So golf, AJGA is nationwide. Those are the same events that Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, Dustin Johnson played in. Charlie Woods is playing in all those events now.
Yeah.
And it's actually global. We get kids that are coming in from the Philippines, from China, all over the world playing in this event next week.
Yep.
It's a pretty big deal. And they're sick. So you're going to see some future tour players playing this week at BCC for sure.
What's the age of these kids?
They are between the ages of 12 and 18. I think as long as they're 18 when they qualify, they're still able to play in this event. So you're going to see some good golfers. I think last year we had one of the lady golfers shot like 66 the first day.
Really?
They're sticks. Well, they're good. They're really good.
Wow. Teenagers. It's shooting in the
Yeah.
60s. That's crazy. Tell us about the event and when it starts. And let's hope you're starting early next week, early in the morning. Good googly moogly.
Correct. Yeah. So they'll be there all week. Monday is what we call a local qualifier for our local junior golfers to try to. I think there's 2 spots available for them to play in this event. So they'll have that on Monday morning. Tuesday is what we call a junior am, kind of like a pro am, but it's 3 amateur golfers, and we'll team them with a junior golfer. And it's basically sponsors of the event and members and companies that are coming out. Kevin Small's company will be out there. Kevin Harvick will be out there playing on the team. I'll be out there playing, of course, with one of the juniors. And it's a fun event. And then that starts at 8 o'clock Tuesday. And then practice rounds after that throughout the day. And then Wednesday, Thursday is the tournament.
Okay. It's a 54-hole event?
Yes. So Wednesday, Thursday, no cut. So they'll just keep playing, and Friday's the final day.
Okay. And what happens for the winner? What do they advance somewhere or?
They don't advance, but this is one of their national events, so they get amateur ranking points for this.
Okay.
Junior amateur ranking points. So it's a big deal. Qualifies them for bigger events throughout the world and nation for junior golf, and gives them amateur rankings. So, and also colleges look at these events too. There's a lot of colleges that are looking at these events, looking at the kids that they might want to offer scholarships to. So it's a big deal for them.
Yeah, absolutely. What year is this for you guys? You've been doing this for 4 or 5 years?
This is our fourth, I believe, our 4th year, and they've just signed another 3-year commitment with us at BCC. So it's going to be, and they've made this one of their premier events, almost like one of their majors. So it's a huge event for us at the club.
Yeah. I'm talking with Paul Guerra from Double Eagle Golf about the Kevin Harvick Foundation Golf Tournament coming up this week or next week, Monday through the remaining of the week. And the golf course looks spectacular. The additions that you've made around the greens with the grass has been a game changer. I had never seen it look as good as it does right now.
Course is playing great right now. We've put a lot more water on the golf course, obviously the heat. That's just, if you notice, it's greened up quite a bit. But yeah, we put a new hybrid Bermuda grass on all the aprons from the greens all the way to about 6 to 7 feet out. And so that's a hybrid Bermuda that you can cut real tight. You can chip off it. You can use a hybrid.
Yeah.
You can putt off it. But it just really makes the playing conditions that much better. It's something we've been wanting to do, and we finally were able to do all the greens, and it took perfectly. So they're going to have some great playing conditions out there. And the rough is super high right now and nasty. So, when our rough gets high, it's not easy. So
No, it
it'll be
isn't.
fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is. Have you spoken to our mutual friend, Madhav Shah? Well, obviously you've spoken to him, but give us some kind of description of his experience at the U.S. Open.
He said it was very surreal. I think that first day really got him, chomping at the bit to play and then having to wait 2 extra hours and teeing up at 5 and coming back. But he felt like he played really well, enjoyed it. It really gave him the confidence. He knows he belongs out there.
Yeah.
And that's what was the biggest key. He came back knowing that he belongs out there and that he's able to play with these guys. He's just as good as they are. I mean, I was with him on the driving range Wednesday, and he is just hitting it as pure as I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's looking good.
And I also heard another mutual friend of ours just broke the course record out there.
Yes, Bhavik Patel from the Black Tees shot 61. We've got those 4 new Black Tees out there, which added about 400 yards. And I think right now at BCC he's like a +7 or 8 handicap.
That is crazy. A 61. I don't know how you hit from the blacks on 7. I mean, you have to draw that ball, don't you? Just a little bit.
Those guys, if you're long enough like he is, they will take it
right over the trees,
right over the left tree there, and still have a little flip wedge in. But if you're right on that borderline of 300 carry, that bunker comes into play. Guys like me, I just take it right at the bunker and come up 30 yards short, so I'm okay.
That's what I do, but I do it from the whites.
Yeah, that's really made that hole a true par 4 for those guys, though.
Yeah.
You miss that fairway, they are in trouble now.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Always great to talk. How's your game going? How you feeling? How's your health?
I'm doing good. I have the detached retina and cataracts, but my eyesight's coming back, so it's I'm just trying to play. I'm a weekend warrior like you, man. Just trying to survive against these young flat bellies out there.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, my game is finally starting to shape up a little bit. I'm still doing stupid things, making doubles and triples, but I'm a chasm away from where I was last summer. A chasm. It's just
nice. Are you coming out this weekend to play?
I am indeed. I'll be out there tomorrow morning.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. And by the way, this tournament's open to the public, so if they want to see some up-and-coming junior golfers, if you're a high school golfer or you're a high school coach and you want your kids to come out and see what junior golf really is, these kids are sticks. I mean, you're going to see some world-class golf out there this week.
And they're going to start at 8 o'clock Monday morning?
8 o'clock is the qualifying tournament, and Wednesdays when they'll start tee times actual tournament. That's at 8 o'clock. Yeah,
8 o'clock. Great. All right. Very good. All right, sir. Always great to talk to you. I hope I run into you tomorrow. All right, man.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
All right,
buddy.
All right, we'll see you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, love you, Pop.
Love you too.
Paul Guerra, one of the board members out of Bakersfield Country Club, used to be the president for a little bit. Met that young man. He was about 15 years old. Jimmy Cisneros was probably 13. We used to play with Raul and Fernando Marquez. Now, Fernando's son is my accountant, John Marquez. His dad, who we used to play with, Fernando, was an accountant teacher out of Bakersfield College, one of the finest accountants in this town. But those are some great memories. When those kids were teenagers and they were sticks, they'd give me like 3 or 4 aside, and we would battle it out. The good old 20th century. And now he's a middle-aged man, and I'm near death. How time flies. Quick time out. Salty joins us at the bottom of the hour. Jeff Salters. He's got some stuff he wants to tell us. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. You will hear from the prosecutor in the Kevin Mays case. DA's office is taking a victory lap, if you can believe that. They really are. They're patting themselves on the back for putting a human trafficker in jail for about a year. They're just, yeah, boy, another win for Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. It's TRBS on a Friday. Oh, what a Friday. Right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. Streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
The state of California needs money because of the way we've been spending our Medicare money. They decided that we need to talk to you guys about this. How about if we withhold $867 million from you? Will that get your attention? You know, the Trump administration, and they have bigger expectations of you. So if you can't deliver, they ain't going to deliver either.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
You like playing around in the kitchen? Well, you've got to check out on Instagram Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen vignettes. Tiny little vignettes, many of them with Gino showing you how to cook different dishes with some of the elements that are in the delicatessen. Now he's got some of the other personnel doing it as well. They're incredibly well done, and they can break down some of the great stuff that they do right at Luigi's. And again, if you're a foodie, the delicatessen's got to be your first stop. I mean, they've got everything. I've got some of the Luigi stuff in my kitchen. I use it when I cook as well. And again, I've told you about the deli, the merchandise, the merch for kids coming up for birthdays or anniversaries or whatever. And then check out the patio. The misters are out there. It's a wonderful afternoon. Where would you rather be? But again, stop in the deli, say hello to Lynette, try one of her Italian wines. Where would you rather be than at Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Look, folks, when it comes to IT support, not all companies are the same. Many make big promises, but very few have the depth of talent, advanced systems, and proven solutions that Grapevine MSP brings to the table. At Grapevine MSP, they don't just fix problems, they prevent them. Their fully managed IT services keep your systems running smoothly and securely 24/7. So when something happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to be stuck trying to reach your provider. Grapevine MSP's local team is already on it with advanced network monitoring. They generally catch the issue before you even notice, and they're calling you to say that it's already been handled. Their dedicated cybersecurity team protects you daily from evolving threats, while their industry-leading backup and disaster recovery keep your business online even in a crisis. All this for one simple, transparent monthly rate. Call 661-377-2992 or visit grapevinemsp.com to schedule your free network evaluation today. Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Control is everything to me. Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
You know, Paul's family is involved with Mexicali as well. Paul grew up. In fact, I think when I was playing golf with him as a teenager, he was working in Mexicali. See him in his uniform. I love me some Mexicali. I think I might make a stop there this weekend before I get out of here. 842-5376-842-KERN. Who you got? Mark. Mark, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Good afternoon, Ralph.
Hey, Mark.
You know what? I've talked to you. I've called in before, and you let me talk with you, talk over the air. And I want to say, first of all, you're cool on the radio. I learn a lot every time. I try to listen to you every day. And pretty much around this time, I'm driving somewhere. I've always learned many things from just listening to your program.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask you, back in the day, I would help my grandparents a lot. And I know a long time ago you worked for 23 News.
I did.
I wanted to ask you, would you ever consider, have you ever considered going back working in TV again, or are you just stick with the talk radio?
No, I would never do television again. I did television for 6 years. I was a weekend anchor at 23 and weekend anchor at 29. And then right around 05, 06, 23 hired me to do an editorial in their 6 o'clock A block. It was called a 2-minute take, where I would come and there'd be the topic of the day and they'd come to me in the newsroom and I'd respond. But I'm turning 64 Monday, Mark. And unless you've been lifelong buddies with Mike Try, like Bob Price, 60-year-old men don't do TV. Price is an exception because he's known the news director for many, many decades, and he's a good reporter. I'll add that. But they're not looking for 64-year-old men who have acne and a scar across their forehead and jowls. No, it's not likely. And I hated television. I hated the genre. I wasn't, I come from the newspaper industry where I could tell your story in 32 inches. You go to television and you're lucky to be able to tell your story in 2 minutes. And I hated the genre in terms of journalism.
Well, I just wanted to let you know, I find what you say interesting.
Thank you.
Sometimes some of the stuff you talked about, a little bit I don't agree with, but
that's okay. I mean,
from your point of view, and I get everything. You're a pretty cool cat. But I wanted to tell you personally, years ago, I'd see you on TV. My grandfather liked watching 23 station at different times, and I remember when, I'm sure you've heard of the guy Burley Smith. And when he used to be the news anchor there.
Yeah, he was way before me, but yeah.
I remember he was the senior, well, he's retired now, but yeah, I just remember watching him, and then you came in the picture. But you look cool on TV. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I was much younger. It was about 30 years ago.
I find your programming very interesting, and I actually learn a lot.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate that.
And
thank you.
I want to say one more thing. You have a good weekend, and God bless you. And all that I can say about different things that are maybe not good, I'm sure, and I know you believe in God. When we don't understand about something, we ask God to help us, because He's the only one who understands what's really going on.
Amen. Amen. God is good all the time. Thanks for the nice thoughts, Mark. I appreciate that. Have a great weekend.
You have a good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Take care. God bless you as well. It's my Uncle Mark calling from South Carolina. No, I don't know Mark. Am I thinking about getting back into television? That's pretty funny. I suppose I could go back as a producer. I don't think they have an age limit on writing and being able to tell stories, but no, it's not likely. I think inevitably, perhaps in the bowels of my Beaufort, South Carolina home in my late 70s, I might be doing some kind of podcast, perhaps. But no, that's about it. This is about it. And I'm not even sure about my future at the current community college district these days, but no, that's about it. That's about it. I'm on the back nine of life and on the back nine of my career. But it's nice that people even remember that I did television, because we're talking about 30 years ago. Isn't that crazy? When I was a good-looking boy. What else you got? Anything on the board?
Yeah, we got a couple.
What do you got?
The president lies every day, Ralph, but you have a gift of allowing yourself to believe in what you want to believe and what you want to say on air. Okay.
Well, I just I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, I thought the president was pretty honest today, actually. They asked him about Conyers, not Conyers, John, who's the senator from Texas? Is it Conyers? Anyway, the senator from Texas, the Republican. And he said, well, you know, I didn't support him. I supported Ken Paxton, who, by the way, is losing to James Tellerico, by the way. Granted, Tellerico spent way more money than the Republicans, and the Republicans are going to throw in an influx of money at the 11th hour. But the guy that I told you is a nightmare of a candidate down in Texas is losing to the pastor, preacher Democrat by 4 points, by the way, just to tell you. But he said, I don't blame Cornyn. I ruined his career. And so he's trying to get back at me. And he said, I would probably do the same thing. And I was like, what? Trump being honest? One more. Let's get Salty in here.
Let's see. As an ex-foster kid, i.e. a ward of the state, it is 100% the responsibility of CPS because the child has no choice with who and where they are placed, or they're placed with, especially if the parents are abusive. They're 100% have the responsibility to make sure the child, a U.S. citizen, is safe.
Yeah, I was stunned that somebody texted in. That's in response to someone earlier who clearly has had a lobotomy, texting in and saying that the onus doesn't fall on CPS or DHS or Lito Murillo, but on the family of Ray Mata and the outlying families. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you've never dealt with damaged children or abused children, because one of the key signatures of an abused child is that the biological parents keep everybody out. They can't let them in because what is the aunt and uncle and grandma going to say? Where did little Ralph get this bruise? So it's traditional, or it's typical of them to lock out the family. So to somehow blame the uncles or the grandparents instead of the Child Protective Services, who was warned by the school, is absurd. Jeff Salters joins us next.
I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Justice Department has moved to dismiss a criminal case charging a former Olympian with deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Government lawyers said in a 20-page court filing Friday evening that information provided since the indictment of David Hearn shows that the damage was the result of a flawed installation by the contractor, as well as the rush to complete the project prior to events associated with the America 250 celebration. The U.S. Marine Corps says the pilot of an F-35B stealth fighter is expected to live after ejecting from the jet before it crashed in California. The jet went down Friday in a field near the Miramar Naval Air Station in San Diego. An update from the Marines says he was taken to a local medical facility in stable condition. More details at srnnews.com.
What if your healthcare costs were guided by community and care rather than corporate?
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. Right now, if you want to burn dry vegetation and debris in order to prevent wildfires, you have to go through environmental permitting processes that can take a while, sometimes up to a year. One state assembly member says he wants to cut through that part and is introducing a bill in the state assembly to possibly bypass some of that permitting process. Back on November 22nd, 2008, someone came into the Arvin Police Department holding a woman who had been stabbed several times. She needed help and had to be taken to the hospital, but the woman survived. 18 years later, the man that police believe responsible for that attempted murder has been arrested. 44-year-old Victor Manuel Ochoa Orozco was arrested in Stanislaus County. say authorities. He's been extradited to Kern County. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling. Boss. Work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll find out all the biggest news happening on planet Earth with the hot list. We got America's Job Center on Current. We got state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
See, now this is what I'm talking about. Blacker, older.
My defense.
Not that I'm implying that Tony Bennett's black, but both older and blacker, and maybe a little more 70s, 80s. This is a classic. Love this song. Every man will be free as a bird. Yes. Oh. That was something. Antonio Benedetto, the man Francis Albert said had the best voice of them all. He was a young kid when Mr. Sinatra was just beginning to make it. And he heard him in San Francisco, as a matter of fact, at a tiny little club. And he said, "Kid, don't stop singing." And just kind of took him under his wing after that. And he was a great artist as well, a great painter. But at the end of his life, he got uber liberal and got really, really strange. Mr. Bennett did. But, and they had a horrible toupee that looked like a damn raccoon on the top of his head. In the meantime, as Mr. Burdick moves the camera away for those streaming on YouTube, our Uber driver has arrived with our Salties order of, well, let's see what we ordered. Jeff Salters has walked in, y'all, with,
What's really going on?
hang on,
Hey, what's really going
well, you
on?
got to wait till he turns it on in there as well.
Wow.
Look at that.
Huh?
Holy
Now he's good.
fish.
Wow.
Oh, nice choice.
Huh?
Look at that. Oh, man. Love your
One for you.
ribs. Love your ribs.
Thank you.
Well, one for me and one for Chris.
There you go.
And then JR can take the bread pudding.
Was his first?
It was his. What's going on, Salty?
Dude, running like a wild man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's, build a restaurant, they said. It's easy. Said no one.
So how many venues do we have now officially with this new grand opening?
4? Wow. I guess. Well, 5. I got my White Lane restaurant,
Yeah.
the Rosedale restaurant.
We were just talking about that.
and which we're gonna new concept coming out of that.
Yeah.
The new Coffee Road.
You're doing drive-through now, right?
No, not at the new location. We drive through.
Okay.
The Rosedale won't. It just doesn't. It's not. It can't accommodate that
All right.
anymore.
Okay.
So those 3 restaurants, the banquet and event center.
Yeah. Don't forget about that. Yeah.
And then we have our food trailer.
Nice.
So yeah. So it's it's a grip. We got a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people moving around, doing things, and phenomenal team. It happens, and I get to stand back and every now and then make the decisions and watch people run. And I years ago I worked at Frito-Lay, right? And I remember one of the big phrases that was a big thing back then was this word called empowerment.
Right.
And as the technicians and the folks that were in the plant working and doing those things, there was this big push to empower us to make decisions to improve the process. And I've always kind of had that process, that mentality in my business, is that empower the people that are in the middle of it to make the right decisions to make the process better.
Right.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Almost 14 years later and putting a third one out there.
Any idea when you were tooling away at Frito-Lay that you'd be a restaurateur one day?
None.
None
But I can
whatsoever.
tell you, I remember very distinctly one night. I worked the 3 to 11 shift or the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
And yeah, those
That's
are
a tough
tough.
shift. That's a
Yeah.
tough shift, man.
I'm packing, right? I'm breaking box. You get these boxes that are all flat. You pop it out of this machine, this little contraption, and you fold this box. And this machine just piling chips on this conveyor belt coming at you. You grab however many bags of chips, you throw it in there, and you fold that box again, top it, and then you hit a counter, grab a label, slap it on the box, and throw it on a conveyor belt that takes it to the warehouse. And I'm doing this, right? And one night, and I remember sitting there thinking to myself, what have I done? I don't have a degree. I have no education, no formal education. I don't have a trade. I don't have, what do I have?
Right.
And, I'm married. I got kids. I at that point probably had 2 babies. And it was just, but I've always wanted something. I always wanted to do something. And that the entrepreneurial spirit we talk about has always been there. I just had no idea what that was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to tell the story about how you got it up on your feet. How you got the restaurant up on its feet.
Even at this point, it still amazes me.
And don't leave God out of the story.
Absolutely.
Because he's a big player in this.
Well, this Sunday night at 7 p.m. at the new location on Coffee Road, we'll be doing what we did in the very beginning. And that's where we encircled the building hand in hand and prayed over it.
Yeah.
And we'll do that again here. So we did that at the Rosedale store before we opened it. We did it at White Lane, and now we'll do it at the Coffee Road location before we open.
Nice.
But yeah. So this whole thing, it just kind of came on a hope and a prayer, right? Literally. I had my little barbecue trailer, was cooking for friends and family and little events here and there, and got the opportunity to open the Rosedale store. And it was a great opportunity, but there was one big hurdle in front of that, and that was the fact that I was broke. Right. And
Other than that,
you said everything's
no
good.
problem.
Let me close this up so we only feel the heat. But I was
Yeah,
broke.
it's killing me. I hardly can get through this.
This
interview.
smells really good.
It really
Yeah.
does.
And so I went to some friends and family. My pastor was one of them. My oldest son helped out. He had a great job. He was working for Chevron at the time. And we were able to borrow $40,000. And so this whole thing that we have out there and everything that we do started on a $40,000 loan from friends and family.
That's incredible.
I tell people, and it's the truth that I put $0 into the first location because there was nothing in my account to put in it.
Right.
And through prayer and through faith and through working hard and just doing the right things. And from the beginning, my heart to serve and give was there, which, reaching out to our local law enforcement, first responders, anybody we could help, we tried to and did. And, now we're in a space where we get to do greater things and bigger things and to even more people.
Yeah.
I get lots of phone calls for folks that need help, and some people we don't get a call, we just hear about it and we take care of it.
Yeah. Why barbecue?
I love to barbecue. So, probably from my father-in-law, actually. He passed years ago, but when my wife and I would go out to his house, he was always grilling. He was doing something. So he was always cooking something. He'd cook some short ribs and some tri-tip. And he made this stuff like He used to make this one dish he called chili Colorado, is what he called it.
Yeah.
But it's just little. He get those gordita tortillas, those really thick ones, and he simmered this like pork with Colorado. I don't know what red sauce. All I know is that he would make like a pile of these little burritos on a plate. And we'd show up and just like gorge ourselves when he's saying something. But he was retired from Griffith Company. He worked for them years ago, and he loved to cook. And so I just started cooking. And so at the house, I started cooking, barbecuing. And it's funny how you learn things over the years. I would go to Young's Market on Brundage, right there, Brundage and Oak. We go to Young's Market, and I look at their meat counter. They always have their fresh meat, cuts. And
I used to buy my fish from there.
yeah, and so I go in there and I look for the reddest piece of meat I could find with none of that crazy white stuff running through
Marble.
because that's just fat. Who wants that?
Right.
And then I go to work for a food service company down the road, and I learned that marbling is called flavor.
Yeah.
But you just learn. So it's just that process. And so from cooking for the family, then we started making it a big deal for like my boys on their first birthday. I did a big lunch, barbecue for everybody. And then on their fifth birthday, we did another big party for them. So all those big days that we always did, and everybody would come over. They loved the barbecue. Then I started getting, hey, would you cater for my kid's birthday party? So that's kind of how that all started. I had a brother-in-law, lived in Santa Maria, the Santa Maria style barbecues, and he was the first person that I met that actually cooked over red oak.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I said, he says, I'll make you one of these fire pits, Santa Maria style pits. I'm like, right on. I can't wait to see it. This nice box and with the crane handle, all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. They showed up to a birthday party in a car. He says, hey, I got your grill in the trunk. And my brain's going, how do you fit a big Santa Maria grill in the trunk of a car? Well, we go out there and there's this stainless steel washing machine tub and this little rack to sit on and a rack that goes on top with the handle. And I'm like, what is that? I said, that's the biggest hokey looking thing I've ever seen in my life. But hey, I took it home. I cooked so much on that, I actually melted it down. It fell apart because I cooked so much on it. I mean, and that's kind of where I honed the skill of cooking tri-tip over an open flame. And because other than that, I'd always cook on briquettes or something like that,
Right.
But yeah, and so we just kind of through trial and error and playing and having fun. That's how it became. And then playing with the spices in our kitchen one day, and I started messing with all these different spices, and I came up with the dry rub that we use.
Nice.
And now we've since had it Pappy's seasoning out of Fresno. They now make it for us in bulk. So it took 3 years for them testing to get it to what
where you wanted it,
where we wanted it. Yeah.
Jeff Salters is our guest from Salty's Barbecue. So tell us anything special going on in the grand opening?
Lots. I mean, there's a lot of folks coming out. I hope you can make it out. And it's 10 a.m. It's early.
What, Monday?
No, Thursday.
Thursday. I'm back. I'm back Thursday.
Okay.
I think I am back
Yeah,
Thursday.
so we'd love to have you out
Going
there.
to LA
be part
for
of
a
it.
couple
Yeah.
days, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Thursday at 10 a.m. We're doing the ribbon cutting. We got a lot of folks down there. We got balloons. We got stuff. I've got Golden Empire Towing is coming out with their big American flag truck and they're going to hang a flag for us.
Nice.
Similar to what we did for the the groundbreaking. And just man, lots of fun stuff. We got DJ Richie Rich is coming out to help provide some music and sound for us because one of the things that bugs me to do an event and nobody can hear.
Yeah.
And so he's got a system that's going to make it perfect for us to have plenty of sound for everybody to be able to hear and what's going on that day as we celebrate it. Just a milestone. This building, this location it's such a different place for us now because it gives us this opportunity to produce something that I've always said it's something that's scalable now. You wouldn't take a shack on Rosedale and say let's go open 20 of those.
Right. So where are you on coffee? Like give me a visual.
Where Cane's and Buffalo Wild Wings, just north of Rosedale Highway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you are.
If you're going down Rosedale Highway, there's a big black building standing up in the sky, and our signs are on it. They look awesome. Hopefully by Monday or Tuesday, they'll have all the LED strip lights going around it. I mean, they're up, down, across. It will light up the sky at night.
Nice.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
And what are the hours once you get started?
So we'll be open 11 to 8, Monday through 7 days a week. Unless we're closed on the weekends or holidays. We do that. We take the holidays off and let our folks have time with their families. But yeah, our normal hours 11 to 8, And it's just exciting. You know?
Yeah.
One of the questions I get asked is all the time is like, what are you doing with the Rosedale store, right? You're shutting it down. I said, so we will close tomorrow night. Will be the last night that Rosedale will be open on a Saturday at the Rosedale location, because we're going to shut it down, move everybody over, take that whole team to open the new store.
Okay.
We're going to go through and do a little remodel on the Rosedale store. It needs a little facelift, a little paint, a little tender loving care there, TLC. And then probably my hope is in 2 months, 3 months, we're going to reopen that store as a Salty's Express.
Okay.
And it'll run Monday through Fridays from 11 to 2. We'll only serve sandwiches, salads, and sides.
Nice.
So simple, in and out, not trying to recreate the wheel. Just do what we do it right, and then push everybody to our new store, which has the space and the ability to accommodate and do. We're super excited. It's been a lot of work. I can tell you that. It's a ton of work, but you know what? It's going to be worth it. Bakersfield is a phenomenal community. They have loved on us and supported us, and we're just excited we get to have a new opportunity to do even more.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I'm excited for you.
Yeah,
Really am.
Appreciate it.
I can't let you leave without checking up on Portrait of a Warrior. How's it going downtown?
Portrait of Warrior is going fantastic.
I bet.
We just announced put out the save the dates for our inaugural Portrait of a Warrior Gala on November 14th. Our guest speaker, you got to meet her, Miss Donna.
Yes.
So she's going to come back. Her and Mike Hart. We got a little Q&A we're going to do up there. It'll be out.
Wait. You chose Mike Hart to do it?
Well, he did this video thing with her.
TV guy.
The TV. Well,
TV guy.
But
you're closer friends with the video guy.
Well, there's opportunities.
But you took the TV guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
I got outvoted. It was 2-1. Yeah.
I'm giving you a hard time. And you're going on the next honor flight.
I am going on the next honor flight. Super excited about that.
Yeah, when's Wheels Up?
September 21st, I believe. Yeah. September 20th, 21st.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I think 21st.
Okay.
Yeah. So super excited about that. Matt Vaughn is going to be the new. I think he's going to be the flight director, tour, whatever they call him on that.
Yeah.
He's a lead dog on this trip.
Good.
So, but I'm super excited to get back out and go out there.
The highly educated Matt Vaughn.
Yes, he
got his master's degree down at USC.
USC Trojans, fight on, right? Come on,
you could have made a better choice. That's what I was telling.
I'm like, hey,
who cares?
I'm highly educated. Go Bears.
Go Bears. That's right.
Not the Berkeley Bears, but the Arvin.
Grove. That's right. You in Shannon Grove, your wife.
Yeah, man.
My ex-girlfriend.
Wow.
Roxanna and her whole family are all Arvin Bears.
Arvin's a great place.
I know a lot of Arvin Bears. I really do.
But that's fun. I mean, and there's some more exciting news that we're kind of keeping under the wraps for the gallery.
Yeah.
We'll talk off there and give you a little heads
up. Yeah, let me know.
So you can help us get ready when we rock that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So look on your calendar, put on there, save the date. November 14th, Portrait of a Warrior Gallery inaugural gala. It's going to be a military ball style event. So
really,
gowns, tuxes. I mean, we're going to the nines on this.
Nice. And congratulations on the grand opening.
Thank you very much, sir.
Always good to see you, Salty.
Appreciate you guys.
Especially when you got ribs in your hands, boy.
You guys, your fans, your listeners, it's just Salt of the Earth people.
They are. They're the best. They're the best.
Thank
They're
you
the
guys.
best.
Appreciate you.
Jeff Salters, grand opening Thursday, 10 a.m. Be out there, out on Coffee Road. Quick time out for TRBS on this Friday, right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
The Ed Jiggles extravaganza that we're all going to be treated to. It's yet another way too closely connected to the DA's office. So this one's going to play out in Tulare. And that's fun for two reasons. Number one, we're not going to have to pay for it. And the other thing is listening to how our news guy's going to pronounce Tulare every morning. We're all going to find out together in real time. It'll be a festival.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
You know, it must be nice to be able to retire like Serena Williams and then say, I'm unretired. But for most of us, that's not the case. When we hang it up, that's about it. That's why you've got to be prepared for the late fourth quarter in your lives. And that's why I always stress that the smartest financial move I have ever made happened about 10 years ago when I became a client at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And the other thing I always remind you about, I've turned on colleagues here at American General Media to Daniel, and they could not be happier about what Daniel has done for them financially. Call Daniel Petrie at 395-9400, 395-9400, or just tune in on Thursdays. He appears here every Thursday at 4:30, and his office is located right on the corner of 21st and Oak. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker
to make Patriot interceptors.
We have not agreed to that. We're talking about it, but it's a hard thing to give away that kind of technology.
The president spoke with reporters at his cabinet meeting at Camp David, contradicting an offer he made on the sidelines of the NATO summit.
You give that technology, they can someday turn on you. You know, that is possible.
Trump says he discussed the topic with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at their White House meeting on Tuesday.
I spoke about Patriots. I spoke to him about Tomahawks. Spoke to him about everything. I also spoke to him about let's get this war over with.
Zelensky is also urging U.S. officials to help him get permission to use Elon Musk's Starlink satellites to guide drone strikes inside Russia. I'm Jennifer King.
It's not good news for consumers from U.S. oil producers.
ExxonMobil and Chevron warned that global supplies of diesel and other refined products will likely remain tight and lead to persistently high prices in the second half of the year as the Iran war continues to cause major energy disruptions. Both companies reported large jumps in second quarter refining profits on Friday as declining fuel stockpiles combined with curtailed exports from China and refinery outages in Russia led to higher margins.
Bill Alexander reporting. The Justice Department has moved to dismiss a criminal case charging a former Olympian with deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Government lawyers said in a 20-page court filing Friday evening that information provided since the indictment of David Hearn shows that the damage was the result of a flawed installation by the contractor as well as the rush to complete the project prior to events associated with the America 250 celebration. On Wall Street, the Dow by 276 points, the Nasdaq rose 251, the S&P advanced 52. More at townhall.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
Markets close out the month on a strong note. We hear more from
the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
It's about possibly making the area just a little bit safer. I'm Chris Davis. It's a bill being introduced in the state assembly that might make it easier in some situations to burn brush and vegetation that can fuel a wildfire. State Assemblyman Stan Ellis is pushing for the bill, which he says is modeled on Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency declaration that is allowing some of the permitting process that you have to go through in the state to be able to burn brush and vegetation to be skipped in some circumstances. For now, that is only a bill and has not been passed. And apparently enough to make some people nervous was a plume of smoke that could be seen in the area west of Delano near Garcias Highway Thursday afternoon. It was unclear if that fire grew enough to become a threat. Back on November 22nd, 2008, someone came into the Arvin Police Department holding a woman who had been stabbed several times. She was bleeding and needed help and had to be taken to the hospital. But that woman survived. 18 years later, the man that police believe responsible for that attempted murder has been arrested. 44-year-old Victor Manuel Ochoa Orozco was arrested in Stanislaus County, say authorities. He has been extradited to Kern County to face the charges. Though police have been generous with the story about his arrest, they have not said what it was that led up to it almost 20 years later. Bakersfield is planning to do what some major cities across the U.S. have done, and that is get their own robotic police dog. They already have a name for the dog. Bakersfield now reports the electronic pup will be called Spot. Spot will be programmed to detect fentanyl and other drugs. The department is also getting ready to add another actual canine at a cost of about $15,000. The cost for Spot will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $400,000. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm gonna make them an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the week as I get ready to go on, as I want to describe a little deserved but much needed vacation. The next week looks like Jennifer Van Alstyne from Adaptive Networks on Monday. Kathy Abernathy hosting on Tuesday. Local attorney and St. Louis Cardinal fan and overall good egg Clayton Campbell on Wednesday. David Dowdy from Healing Hands, Healing Hearts on Thursday. And KGET entertainment reporter Rick Bentley on Monday. I'm back August the 10th. Getting on your last nerve as I am wont to do. And I'm sure this is Lisa telling me that I didn't turn the sound back on. Please, yes, I apologize. Jeff and I were having a little discussion and I neglected to turn the audio back on, but it is on so I could yell at the DA's office. They are in celebration, it seems to me, at their prosecution of Kevin Mays. And I don't know, maybe it's just our judicial system, but for a crime fighter like Monty Hall, aka Cynthia Zimmer, to be pleased with the fact that they jailed Kevin Mays, who was accused and pleaded guilty to human trafficking, kiddie porn, methamphetamine, weapons. He gets 4 years, time served, time for good behavior, and this time next year, he will be out of jail. You can human traffic somebody, and if you've got enough money to hire a very talented lawyer like David Torres, the district attorney's office turns into the classic 70s game show starring Monty Hall as Cynthia Zimmer. Let's make a deal. This isn't the first one. This is a slew of plea deals that this office makes because I quite honestly think they look at the attorney and they say it's H.A. Sala or it's David Torres or somebody of that ilk, and they just say, we don't have anybody in the office that can compete with them. I don't think they say that out loud, but I think that is part of the equation that would allow Kevin Mays to be in jail for like 900 days total for putting a woman in slavery. It's crazy. Let's hear from his defense attorney first. This is David Torres.
Both myself and Mr. Mays are pleased that this whole event is over, and we anticipate that he should be out of state prison within the year.
Out of state prison within the year. And what do you all think Mr. Mays is going to be up to in about a year? Do you really think he's going to go back to school and get his master's degree and try to restart a coaching career? Or is he going to lay low a little while, get back into kiddie porn, and try this human trafficking at a different angle? The recidivism rate for people like Kevin Mays is out the roof. And it's who he is. This wasn't a blunder. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't poor judgment. This is who he is. He gets off watching children in sex. That's not something you turn off and turn on. That's not something that when you get punished for like 900 days in jail total, and you're let out a year after your sentencing, less than a year, that's not something where you can say, well, I'm going to clean up my act and not get into kiddie porn anymore. Cosby got off having sex with women who were knocked out. Mr. Mays has an affliction or a fetish for children. And the DA's office is proud of themselves that they chalked up another victory. And again, let me say it, this time next year, Kevin Mays will be amongst us. Here is Christine Antonios taking a victory lap, if you can believe this.
We know that the victim did not want this to drag out with a lengthy trial or a lengthy process, and this was really something that weighed heavy on our negotiations.
So to not give stress to the victim, we're gonna just cut a deal. They're putting it now on the victim, not on Monty Hall, the top cop. They're putting this on the victim. We cut a deal because she didn't want this thing to go on. Here's more from Ms. Antonios.
You know, at the end of the day, he's going to be serving prison time for this crime. He's not going to be able to hold a position with a school or with children based on the convictions. He's going to be serving a lifetime sex offender registration, which includes like monitoring through that program.
So what do you think he's going to be up to? Now that you've taken his livelihood away, he can't deal with children, kids, even at a collegiate level. What do you all think he's going to be up to in about 2 years? Let me think. I'm going to guess he's going to find a new avenue to human traffic. He's going to spend about a year in prison where there is no rehabilitation. You only get wiser. And I don't mean you learn the ills of your ways. You find other techniques from other criminals is what you do. That's been my experience when you talk to sheriff deputies or you talk to COs. But these guys, that's why they took weights out of prisons, because these guys would just go in there and learn more criminal techniques, get more buffed, and come out like hellions. And that's exactly what Kevin Mays is going to do. He's going to get in there and he's going to make some connection with another sex offender because they're going to have to defend themselves, because even in prison, I'm told, they don't put up with that. They don't like that kind of nonsense. And with no real ability to work, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to resort to what he used to do. He's going to resort to what he does best. And he's going to become part of that recidivism rate. And here this woman is saying proudly, well, he's going to have to do this, he's going to have to do that, he's going to have to do that, and he's going to have to do another 9 months in prison for putting a woman in slavery. You know, she doesn't mention the fact that he's going to be out next summer. You notice Torres did, though. You notice Torres in a 15-second clip was able to get in the fact, I got my boy off. I sure did. I'm shocked he didn't get his phone number in. And I'm not criticizing David Torres at all. At all. He's not a fan of mine, but I'm not criticizing him at all. He did what he's paid to do. And that's why he and Mr. Sala and a couple of others get the big bucks. And I truly believe in my heart, that's why when those guys go up against the DA's office, Cynthia Zimmer turns into Monty Hall, because she knows there's nobody in my office that can deal with these guys. Hell, Bonta doesn't have anybody in Sacramento. You saw that nitwit that he sent down there to deal with Sala, and Sala chewed him up and spit him out like Deacon Jones on a tiny little quarterback. Are you kidding? Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know why they're making these plea deals. A marijuana kid running around smoking weed, high as a kite, T-bones a grandmother and kills her. He's going to do a couple years. And then Mays is going to be with us next summer. It's almost as if crime pays. That's why it is hard for me to believe that Kevin Mays is going to find his way. Because ultimately, in one of these next 8 months that he sits in prison, he's going to say, damn, I got away with this and I got caught. I just got to be a little smarter the next time. I just got to get a girl who's a little more loyal the next time. I've got to put my stash away the next time. I can't keep it at the crib the next time. I've got to find a safe house or someplace where I can hide my drugs and my guns and my kiddie porn. I got to be a little more careful with my kiddie porn. Or is it you all's belief that he's going to somehow break away from that and find a new sexual fetish? Because it's been my experience, you are who you are. And that's why among these sexual offenders, the recidivism rate is out the roof. Dr. Cosby couldn't stop himself. He couldn't stop drugging these women. He couldn't. That's how he got off. And if you find a fetish, like, when you rub your dog's stomach and he just goes crazy, if you've got that scratch and you find how to itch it, that's what you're going to do. And this guy is into kiddie porn. And no little 9-month jail sentence is going to get him away from that. So he'll reoffend in a couple of years. No question about it. I pray for the young man. Let's hope I'm wrong. I'm not happy about making these predictions. You think I'm happy that I hope a young African-American with a college degree and his whole life in front of him? Man, you never know where a college coaching situation can take you. Look at Justin Hudson. He sat on the bench down at San Diego State for years. Now he's in that realm of head coaching where you can get a job anywhere. And if you can get a job coaching at a big college, you could be sitting at Madison Square Garden for all you know. It's that crazy of a business. And this guy just spit it away. He was right there. And he just absolutely threw it away. And why? Not because he needed the money. It just is inside of him. It's who he is. Again, that's why the recidivism rate is so high. And I'm telling you, we're going to see this guy in the news again. He's just going to get savvier. He's just going to get a little wiser, a little shrewder, try to get a little slicker. And of course, he's going to get caught. We'll read about him again. I pray I'm wrong. I don't know the man. I'm not trying to curse him. I'm just trying to highlight how incredible it is that anybody at that Truxton office can go home and feel good about themselves when they know next summer this pimp will be out on the streets. And for that prosecutor to sit there and say, well, he's going to have to do this, he's going to have to do that, and we got him, and yeah, oh boy, give me a break. Quick time out. Couldn't we have a happy show on my last day? I brought 3 of my favorite people on as guests.
True.
And somehow, some way, I figure out a way to make it maudlin and sad and ugly and there's nothing good going on. Quick timeout. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday. With the still beautiful, wafting smell of Salty's barbecue ribs. It's the only good thing going on this Friday on Newstalk 96.1, AM 1230. We're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Dr. Sam Woggood, transfer to the University of California at San Francisco, was asked, can only women get pregnant? And that was asked by Representative Mary Miller. You know what? He couldn't answer it. That's what I'm talking about, because everybody listening to me right now knows that only women can get pregnant in the human race.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Very excited about my weekend. I'm taking a friend who has only been to Casey Steakhouse once, and they were there for an event, so they didn't even eat, but they like the ambiance. And I said, wait till you get a hold of one of the best steaks you're ever going to have. And I'm going to turn them on to the Stockyard next door on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, where they have live music on Saturday. We have a lovely young woman named Lottie that plays. And of course, Bobby and Jimmy are playing live music Tuesday through Saturday in the main restaurant. But again, the ambiance, the age, the restaurant's almost 90 years old, and no one could have ever believed that Cassie Biddle would take this restaurant to where it is now, advancing, adding on to it, just building up on the menu, where it's not just simply all about steaks. I told you about the lobster mac and cheese, the fish dishes, the chicken dishes, you name it. Chef Daniel's done an incredible job of expanding the menu. Where would you rather be than on F Street at KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show?
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life a lot better. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm John Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
And I'm Jonathan Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
We just wanted to talk with you about what we do as a team. We do a great job for our clients. Some of the things that we do is when we represent sellers, we don't just put the transaction together. We do our homework and we check their FICO score, source of funds, where the money's coming from, and the job stability. Because what we don't want is to get you into an escrow and the escrow falls out because we didn't do our homework.
With any sort of real estate need that you have, we can accommodate, whether it's residential, commercial, land, or multi-units. We have experience in all and can help you to a successful close.
The background that we have is I was a lender for 5 years. And so I learned quite a bit as far as how to keep a transaction together. We don't just put it together and hope that it closes escrow. Nothing's 100%, but we do stack it in your favor.
With any needs or questions with real estate, give us a call at 661-410-7355 or visit our website at www.teambusby.com.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN. So Mr. Nat King Cole. It's for only us. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game to lose. To imagine, baby,
Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Becky Cole.
Put you in better spirits?
Not really.
No? Not at all? Thought the Little Rascals would get you.
No, the shoe was going to drop sooner or later. I'm just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. Something disastrous is going to happen this week.
Don't put it out in the ether.
Oh,
like
you know
that.
you know what? It's my birthday. You know, something disastrous is going to happen. Something already has.
Universe.
It's already out there.
NFS positivity.
Something disastrous will happen within the next 72 to 96 hours.
Stay away from Casey's.
You know, we didn't even throw that in when we were counting up the bad birthdays. We didn't even count the my lip. I still can't feel my bottom lip. Can you believe that?
I can't remember who called me after that and told me what happened. I think it was JR. I think JR told me on Saturday. No, Saturday?
It happened on a Friday night. Happened on a Friday night.
I remember getting the call and said, hey, so I know he's going on vacation, but it may be longer than that. And I said, what happened? And then the story came out, and I didn't have to actually,
On my birthday 4 years ago, I went with Corey Gonzalez and Mr. Flores to celebrate my birthday on a Friday. My birthday was, I think that's Sunday. And lovely Kristen, I either asked her to dance or she asked me to dance. I think JR told me I asked her to dance, which gives you some level of my intoxication. And a gentleman jumped in between us to dance with her. So I then sat at the bar and looked back at the table. JR was laughing hysterically. And I just went like this. I don't know. I don't care. And as I got up, so he started to get handsy with Kristen. So she started to walk off the dance floor. And as I started to walk back to my table, a man who I've never met pushed me. And I turned around. Their video is still available, to be honest with you, if you want to go look at it. I've seen it once and only once. And I literally turned around. You can see me, I'm wearing a white polo, which was ruined with my own blood. And I put my hands up like this, and I turned around, and he hit me once, and he hit me twice. And I grabbed one of the bar stools, and I said, don't do it, Ralph, don't do it. And I didn't, because I was going to throw it at him. I really was. I was going to try to hit him with it. And I said, don't do it. Don't do it. A crime's already been committed. Let it go. And I knew the minute I tried to talk, because the first thing I said was, you're going to jail. You are going to jail. And I knew my jaw was broken. It's kind of like how Ali talked about when Ken Norton broke his jaw in the second round. You can literally take your tongue and move your jaw around when it's broken. And I went into the bathroom and I couldn't stop bleeding. I was just spitting out blood. I was in there for about 3 or 4 minutes and it just wouldn't stop bleeding. So I just grabbed up a bunch of toilet paper and just shoved it in my mouth. Came back, JR was the only one waiting for me. That's why we're still friends and why others aren't, because it's my belief that when a friend like that gets attacked, you don't run out the door and run home for whatever reason, whatever motive that is. And to be blunt with you, I am happy that I was not with Chris Zucchini or Mike Arier, because it would have been like the last scene in Blazing Saddles. It would have been a ridiculous bar fight.
Well, that guy probably would not be walking.
He would have
out.
they would have never let him leave.
No way.
No way in the world.
No
The two
way.
of them would have killed. Zucchini by himself would have fought the guy.
Yeah.
And
could you imagine Big Mike walking up on the?
it would
That
have been
a
ugly.
sight.
It would have been ugly. So
That
I'm
would
glad
have
I
been
wasn't
funny to
with
watch,
them.
though.
But yeah, and then I Ubered myself to KMC where they gave me some pain medication, told me there was nothing I could do, that I needed to see a specialist. You know, there was only one jaw specialist in town. And then 6 months later, it got infected. I had to have another surgery. Final half hour of the broadcast. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump takes his cabinet meeting to Camp David, using the setting to highlight his administration's achievements. He warns of a migrant crisis in Spain, claiming it could happen in the U.S. if Republicans lose the midterms. Trump criticizes Spain's government and blames Minnesota's leadership for recent cyber attacks. He also discusses issues like Iran, a Hamas deal, and a stalled anti-weaponization fund. The Justice Department has moved to dismiss a criminal case charging a former Olympian with deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Government lawyers said in a 20-page court filing Friday evening that information provided since the indictment of David Hearn shows that the damage was the result of a flawed installation by the contractor. More details at sonnews.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance, just a few dollars a day.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. There's a possibility that after this year's legislative session that some of the permitting required to burn vegetation and dry debris that can help cause wildfires may be able to be skipped. One state assemblyman says that bill is based on Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency declaration, which in emergencies only right now allows some of that environmental permitting process to be skipped. It all started with a man going too fast, according to Kern County deputies. And that was Wednesday night about 11 on Niles Street, and that's where they started chasing 20-year-old Andres Montoya. He was going too fast and driving so recklessly that they say they had to cut the chase off, but he ended up crashing in a parking lot and was caught. Deputies say a 17-year-old girl who was in his car had serious injuries. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Before you hit the road for the holidays, make sure your car is ready for the journey. Kern Oil Change keeps your engine running smooth and your family safe. No appointments needed. Just drive in and their fast, friendly team will get you back on the road in minutes. Don't wait till you're stuck on the side of the road. Stop by Kern Oil Change today and travel with confidence this holiday season. Kern Oil Change has 2 locations to serve you, 3706 Coffee Road and 5651 Auburn Street. Kern Oil Change is open 7 days a week. Follow us on Instagram for additional savings.
First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll find out all the biggest news happening on planet Earth with the hot list. We got America's Job Center at Kern. We got state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
If it's wrong or if it's right, action. You don't have to put on the red light. Action. You don't have to put on the red light.
842-537-6842 KERN. Who you got?
Mario.
Mario, what's really going on?
Hey, Ralph, just calling to wish you a happy birthday from one Leo to another.
Thank you, my brother. When's your birthday?
The 17th.
The day my dad's was.
Oh, do you want to hear something crazy?
That's funny, too, because you're much like my dad. You are not a very typical Leo.
Oh, how is that?
You don't need to be the center of attention. You don't, you're not a narcissist. Most Leos need to be the center of attention and tend to be a little bit narcissistic.
Oh, well.
Isn't that our deal. Look up Leo and read it to us, Chris. But go ahead, Mario.
I was going to say, if you talk to my wife, she might disagree with you.
that was a good line. How the daughters doing?
But, they're good. They're good. I'm going to see her the week of my birthday. We're all meeting in Denver.
Nice. Why Denver?
Yeah, my son is in Colorado, so he'll be coming down to Denver, and then the Dodgers and Rockies play.
Nice. You want to hear my bad luck? I'm going to Philly on a Sunday, the 28th. That's when I arrive. That's the last day of baseball season. The Phillies are playing that day, but I arrive that day, so I can't go. And that's the last day of the season. And the following Monday that I'm there in Philly, the Phillies are on Monday, the Eagles are on Monday Night Football, but it's in Chicago. Is that just the Bailey luck or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get to hear you as often as I used to, but I thought I could have sworn you said last week you were talking about your career.
Yes.
And you said at one point you wanted to run a radio show like Don and Mike.
I do.
Did I hear you?
I do.
You wanted to be that. To say that's blue is an understatement.
Well, were they blue? I don't remember them being blue necessarily.
They were.
Were they really? I remember them just being willy-nilly, talking about their lives, talking about what they did last night, talking about their relationships. That's what I meant. I don't want to be blue.
When I first started listening to them, they may have evolved, but they pressed the boundaries lots of times where they got suspended and what have you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I got into them late. I got into them when I started to get into talk radio because I never listened to talk radio before I got into talk radio. To be honest with you, I really didn't. I listened to Jim Healy in L.A., and that was about all that I would listen to. And then that's not true. I got into Howard Stern before I moved as well. When I would work out in the morning, I would listen to Howard Stern. But yeah, I just liked their free-flowing show, and they didn't get into hard topics. And I'm growing weary of arguing with my audience, and talking about the war every day. And I would love, that was the goal of trying to move away from politics. And I'm still trying to get there where we're doing just kind of a fun show. I want to be funny. I want to entertain people. I don't want to just piss everybody off,
Well, I think you're always going to piss somebody off.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yep, but just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Mario. Always good to hear from you, my brother. And an early happy
birthday.
Thank you, and an early birthday to you too.
Okay, take care.
You as well. Mario, who once took me to Dodger Stadium with his daughter. His daughter used to work for Frank McCourt, and so they had access to a suite. I think it was 4th of July. It was 4th of July. In fact, I still have that audio.
Wasn't that the Tina Turner
firework
audio?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it was. Nice memory. I do. I still have that where they were, and I'm singing in the background like an idiot. That was a fun night. That really was.
What was I looking up about Leos, by the way?
The what?
What was I looking up about Leos?
Just what our traits are.
Oh, I got that right here.
Well, read it.
Real quick. Key personality traits. Your strengths. You're confident, generous, loyal, creative, and courageous.
Damn Skippy.
Your weaknesses.
Oh, Lord.
You can be prideful, dramatic, stubborn, and overly focused on seeking external validation. That's pretty much nail on the head on that one.
Guilty. Guilty.
Social style. You can be charismatic and outgoing. Leos love to be the center of attention and naturally draw people in with their infectious enthusiasm.
Yes.
And then your best compatibility matches would be fire signs, Aries and Sagittarius, or open-minded air signs like Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses.
Okay.
I would assume Aquariuses were waters.
Okay, hang on. Who are my best mates?
Aries and Sag.
And Sag? Okay, what months are those?
Oh, that I'd have to look up. I don't know the...
Hey, Siri, what months are Aries? So
March
March
21st through April 19th.
March 21st to April 19th. How funny is that?
Sagittarius is November
Roxana's
22nd to December 21st.
what's that? Sagittarius what?
Sagittarius is November 22nd to December 21st.
Shut up, Siri. 3 of my 6, because I only count 6 girlfriends.
Yeah.
4 of my 6 girlfriends are Aries.
That would make sense.
Renee, Roxana, Monica, and March. What was it? March to what? Till April?
April.
3 of my 6.
Yeah, all of them are about a month long, roughly.
Yeah.
It's just kind of stretched into different areas. And then you have the weird, like, cusp area. I don't get that, but
Yeah. My dad was not a typical Leo. You got somebody?
I do. JD's on the line for you.
JD, what's really going on, my brother?
Oh, Ralph, what is going on with you? I thought I was listening to your dating profile there for a minute.
He is asking what their sign is.
Just figured out what my best mate is. Where do we find you? Oakland, Vegas? Where are you?
I'm in between. I'm coming from Vegas, heading to Oakland.
Really? How long were you in Vegas? Where'd you stay? How'd you do?
We, as my wife and I, we go on a family vacation up in the Sierra Nevadas, and
Nice.
then on Sunday we have to leave, and because of traffic, it takes me about 6 hours to get home. Or in 7.5, I can be in Vegas. So we went down to Vegas, and we've been there since Sunday. And we were going to stay till Saturday, but it hit about 113 today, and I said I'm out. I'm going back where it's 80.
That's crazy. 113.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's getting hotter over the weekend.
Yeah, you got to be careful driving. You got to make sure you got water and everything.
Oh yeah,
just to drive.
You know, new tires,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. So I take it you're not going to Vegas for your birthday.
I am not. I can't do it. I'm going to Philly in September. So I'm trying to save up my little nickels and dimes. I'd feel stupid if I went and blew a bunch of money, you know?
Well, it's not. I'm telling you, this is a terrible time to go. It's just too hot.
Yeah,
it really is.
exactly. That's the other thing. I don't. I like walking around. I like being on Fremont Street, and
Right.
you just can't enjoy it right now. You just can't.
No, it's. I can tell you, we were there, and it was okay for the first couple of days. You know, you're 100, 105.
Right.
You can deal with that, but when it's hitting 110, and they're saying it may go to 115, I'm like, no, we're out.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
Mrs. JD and I hit the road today.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, be careful, man. Be careful.
Yeah, see, I thought I put you in a good mood for your. You were saying you didn't want to be all mad. And another question is, are you going to go back and work for the LA Sentinel?
Am I going to do what?
Are you going to go back and work for the LA Sentinel? You know, like going back to television?
You know, if they could give me a decent salary, I would love to go back and be the managing editor of the LA Sentinel. The LA Sentinel is become a very popular paper because, you know, we're so racially divided. You know, when I grew up, it was just kind of a black throwaway paper, even when I worked there. And now Danny Bakewell, a very, very famous and very, very wealthy entrepreneur in Los Angeles, is very, very well known. I mean, he's a celebrity. Danny Bakewell is a celebrity in LA. He took it over, moved it out of South Central. They're in the Crenshaw Mall. They have a beautiful office. I would love in the fourth or go back and be the managing editor of the paper and try to, I would love to do that. If I were to do anything other than radio, it would be back in newspaper business.
I could see that with you. You're a print guy at heart.
I am. I really, truly am. That's exactly right. That's a great call on your part. Hey, be safe out there, JD. Always great to talk to you, pal.
All right, man. Hit them straight.
I have been lately, actually. I've been playing fairly well lately. That's another thing. It's a good thing. So I'm a lucky man.
Things are going well.
Yes, as much as I complain, and I complain a lot, I am a very blessed man. I really am.
I feel the same way about my life. I really do.
Yeah. All right, JD. Take care.
All right,
bud.
man. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Love me some JD. And I do want to be on record. I know I complain a lot, and I do have a lot going on right now. My mom's health isn't the best. I got some professional things that are all kind of going screwy all of a sudden, and you know, the relationship with the family is kind of weird at this point, and I am fearful of my birthday because they all end up miserable. But I am a very lucky, very blessed human being. I really am. I have great fortune. I have great friends. I am blessed. God has looked out for me. He truly has. My grandmother used to tell me that when I was a little boy. She said, I don't know how you do it. You get out of all kind of messes. You got a little angel on your shoulder. And I sometimes believe that. I am very, very lucky. Very, very happy with my life. I just like to complain. That's all. Who you got?
Chris Orr.
Chris, what's really going on?
Hey, Ralph Emerson Bailey. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you, my brother.
And I think you're going to have an uneventful birthday. So, I don't think you'll have any bad trauma.
I would take uneventful and run like a thief. Just a boring, plain, happy birthday, Ralph. Thank you. Blow out the candle. All right, great. Let's eat the cake. Boom. I'm good. Just no disasters, no elevation sickness, no being punched in the face, no going someplace where there are bears. No, I mean, it's just one disaster after another, Chris.
So I will wish that for you. But the other reason I'm calling, I'm going to take issue with that texter you had earlier is kind of bagging on you.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's a fair amount that I don't always agree with you on.
Of course.
All these years, I will say, you have always been true to your opinion. You've always been willing to listen. And you've also always been willing to change your mind if you felt it was warranted. And that's why I've still listened to you all these years. Plus, you're actually really, really good at your job.
Thanks,
better
Chris.
than some other people that you now associate with. But anyway,
Thank
I'm
you,
not going to
Chris.
go there.
Please don't. Please don't. But I smell what you're cooking. I smell what you're cooking.
But yeah, like I said, you must be doing something right because it seems like you piss off uber liberals and uber conservatives. So you must be doing something right.
That's what I used to say in the newspaper business. If you piss everybody off, you got to be doing something right. Yeah.
So hey, anyway, have a wonderful birthday.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. And you guys, like I said, you still got the best lineup in town, especially in the afternoon.
Appreciate it, man. All right, man. You be careful. I'll see you. Late. That was nice. Love me some Chris. Yeah, he's been with me since the Buckley radio days. 22 years we've been doing this. 9 years at Buckley Radio and 13 years here. After one of the most bumpiest careers where it seemed like I was just going to be kind of a journeyman, 3 years at 723, 3 years at 29, 3 years at the morning show, 2 years doing another morning show, all ending up in me not being renewed. And then I met a man by the name of Steve Darnell who brought me in and said, he later told me that the reason that he gave me the gig is because he asked me how I should be managed. And he said, I'll be honest with you. I'm a journalist, and I've never really been managed, if you want to know the truth. I've never really been given direction. When I started with Chris Townsend on the morning show, it was literally 2 weeks after I'd left television. And so we just kind of came in and we just kind of did our thing. And then I was a news director for a little bit. That was kind of fun, where I was doing news for different stations and got whacked there. And then did a morning show with Jeff Lamucci. And Lamucci didn't want to speak up for me. They asked Lamucci, what'd you think of Bailey? And he said, I don't want to say anything. And I got whacked from that, which was my savior. Little did I know. And then Don Christie told me that your old station is looking for an afternoon guy. And he said, that's your calling, Ralph. You're not a morning guy. I said, no kidding. And I met Mr. Darnell, and I told him, I said, I've never really been managed. I think that's part of the problem. And he said he was impressed with that answer. And he told me in the second interview, because Darnell was famous for his interviews, where he literally, my first interview with him was for 2 hours. I'm not kidding. 2 straight hours. We just sat and talked. And in the second interview, he said, I want to get a couple of things straight before we talk about hiring you. He said, I will never fire you for ratings. Never, ever. So you never have to look over your shoulder. You never have to go running to the diaries and see how you're doing. You help me fill the satchel that I send to Rick Buckley every year, and we'll do fine. And that's the first time in my radio career that I realized that radio is about advertising. That's really what it's about. It's not about ratings necessarily, although you could get into a great chicken and the egg kind of discussion. What comes first, the advertising or the ratings? Can you get good advertisers without ratings? If you have connections, if you know people, I know a lot of radio people who get advertisers simply because they're their pals. Now, I have a lot of friends that are my sponsors as well. In fact, I think I can say that I'm friends with all of my sponsors, but I think there are 1 or 2 that specifically advertise with me because simply they're my friend. I don't think Gino Valpredo needs advertising. You know what I'm saying? But I think he loves me and he loves what I do and he kind of stays around. But Cassie loves our advertising because you all are great enough to go in there and say, I want the Ralph Bailey, or I heard about this from Ralph Bailey. Daniel Petrie's happy with us because I turn him on to clients, etc. And that's really what it's all about. And then once I figured that out, that as long as you make the company business money, they'll keep you around. It doesn't give a damn what your ratings are. If I'm putting money in Rick, in our boss's pockets, I just blacked out on our boss's name. Mr. Brandon, if I put money in his pocket, he's not going to let me go. My numbers, there could be 3 people listening. And if I'm making money for the company, I'm good. I'm good. So I just say that, stop with the threats about, oh, your ratings suck, or I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Okay, don't stress out. But when I come back, let's be nicer to one another. You know what I'm saying? Let's argue and let's disagree, but let's don't insult each other, because I don't get rude until I hear you call me stupid or racist or whatever. And then I'm going to work. I'm going to take this week off to try to come back a much more happier, pleasant Ralph Bailey. It doesn't feel that he has to insult the people that try to insult him. I'm going to try to be a bigger Ralph Bailey in the back half of my waning career. Nah, probably not. Probably not. Nah, I wouldn't bet on that. 842-5376, final break of the week.
Want to end on a good note?
Certainly.
Can we do 82-0? Because we never did it the other day.
We want to say what?
The 82-0 game I told you about? Basketball thing?
Yeah.
Want to do it on the air? Because we never did it the other day.
All right, why not? Why not? We'll do that next. I'll have Chris explain what we're doing as I go munch on a rib. Final break of the week. Jennifer Pitcher Van Alstyne from Adaptive Networks on Monday. Kathy Abernathy on Tuesday. Clayton Campbell, local attorney, overall good egg, Wednesday. David Dowdy from Healing Hands, Healing Hearts on Thursday. And KGET entertainment reporter Rick Bentley on Friday. I'm back August 10th. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. In the meantime, you're listening to the Jennifer Pitcher Van Alstyne, Kathy Abernathy, Clayton Campbell, David Dowdy, Rick Bentley Show on 96.1 AM, 1230 FM. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Just go to break because I'm going to go eat a rib.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey folks, Jeff Salters here, noted barbecue guy. Yeah, that's right, Bakersfield's best barbecue. And I'm here with my good friend Michael Binge. You know him as, hey folks, it's Michael Binge, noted barbecue connoisseur. So I'm going to do a little on-the-spot interview here. Michael Binge, you come here once, twice a year now. You get to come hang out. Your family's here. And every time you come, I know you always get you just a grip of barbecue. So, Michael Bench, what's your favorite Salty's barbecue item?
Well, you know, bud, I have to get a bunch of food because I got a big family out here. So we always load up on family packs. Could be 2, could be 3, but then we have to get extra bread and extra sides and the spicy mac and cheese and the green beans. They absolutely love that stuff. So you know what I'll be doing? I'll be doing that tomorrow night.
You can find us at 9425 Rosedale Highway or 6801 White Lane. Or if you want, you can go to saltysbbq.com and order online.
Salty's Barbecue and Catering.
California Grill,
Texas approved. Oh, it's good.
I'm here with Dr. Tarkesh from Affordable Dentures and Implants. Doc, people often think dental implants are a one-size-fits-all solution. How is Affordable Dentures and Implants different than that?
That's a great question. We know every patient is unique and each person has their own specific needs. So we create a personalized treatment plan designed just for them.
Wow. And what makes your process stand apart from the other places?
Well, we offer advanced digital dentistry, which let us design and create custom solutions. And with our on-site lab, we can offer same-day teeth for many patients. No waiting for weeks for your new smile.
Same-day teeth? Now that's impressive.
Get the smile you've always wanted without anxiety at Affordable Dentures and Implants. Dr. Nozar Tarkesh, who specializes in implants with IV sedation. Visit them online at affordabledentures.com. Affordable Dentures and Implants. That's what we do.
Go ahead and smile.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Earlier, some pins in the chat room real quick. Somebody writes, Ralph Burnix, AB idiot call my pop's grandpa. It must be a white thing.
Huh?
Ralph Burnix, AB idiot call my pop's grandpa. It must be a white thing.
AB.
You're trying to tell us something.
Are you calling me an idiot?
No, I think he's calling the caller an idiot. Or maybe he's calling you an idiot. I don't know. I don't believe anything Trump has to say. It's the same old song and dance every time he speaks. And finally, whatever happens with Tony Romo, he 100% has it coming. He could have called an Uber.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, could have called an Uber. He could have called a limousine. Are you going crazy? What? The what?
Saying we have 1 minute.
Oh, so we don't have time to do that.
Nah,
do we?
we'll do it when you get back.
All right. Again, the lineup is Jennifer Pitcher Van Alstyne from Adaptive Networks, Kathy Abernathy on Tuesday, Clayton Campbell, local defense attorney, on Wednesday, David Dowdy from Healing Hands and Healing Hearts on Thursday. You'll be interested in that. Be sure to tune in. And my good friend Rick Bentley on Friday. You all have a great weekend. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Say a prayer for my mother, who turns 84 years young today. I'm in town until Monday. I'm back on Thursday. So be kind to all of my guest hosts. They're going out of their way to help me. And again, I'll be back on Monday, August the 10th. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Have a great weekend, a great week. I'll wrap to you next Monday.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump was asked about a scrapped $1.7 billion fund he wants that has raised some red flags among some Republicans.
The fund is for allies of the president who feel they have been wronged by the Justice Department, mostly people involved in the 2021 Capitol riot. At his cabinet meeting, the president said, The president says families have been ruined. Some people committed suicide.
People that were very successful that wanted to go to a rally or an event and ended up spending the rest of their lives in horror.
John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, both on the Senate Judiciary Committee, say they won't support Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General until they see a promise in writing the anti-weaponization fund is indeed dead.
Correspondent Ed Donahue reporting.